quiet for 20 minutes, crowd might turn a little bit. Could that be a factor today?
Potentially. I'm sure they would have looked at Arsenal's last sort of 3 or 4 games to see how they're doing. They always do. Every Premier League club's looks in advance who they've got coming up. And knowing that we were playing well up until Manchester United, including the Manchester United game at home, were played well. It's only the last 2 away performances haven't quite been of the standard that we expect.
Time for some key stats ahead of today's game. Here's 3 things that you need to know. Here's the numbers for you. Ahead of kick-off, we've won our last 9 against Newcastle, scoring 22 in the league. And Olivier Giroud has scored more Premier League goals against Newcastle than any other club, as Nigel revealed earlier. And Rafa Benitez has never won away against us in the Premier League in 6 attempts with the various clubs that he has managed. Of course, last taking a club in charge against Arsenal when he was at Napoli a few years ago in the Champions League, you might recall. Plenty of responses via social media to the question we posed earlier. Here's Nicole with the best of your replies.
Yeah, we've had tons of great tweets in response to that question, which was, what do you remember about our 7-3 win over Newcastle United back in 2012? So Mansur98A says, I was at a wedding in Canada, so couldn't watch it. My brother looked up the score, and I remember we just didn't believe the scoreline. Omin YNY says, one of Theo's best performances ever. And Footy Hipstat says, the closest we came to scoring 2 Premier League hat-tricks in 1 game since Henry and Pennant. Theo got 3 and Giroud had a brace off the bench and hit the post. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag AFCVNUFC, and you can send your emails into dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
It's a good day for Theo, that one. I do remember it well. He's ill at the moment. Obviously, he came back and was in good goal-scoring form in the Europa League. Is he a player maybe we've missed a little bit with his pace, do you think, over the last few months?
Well, it's always an option, isn't he? He's always an option when you've got pace like that. You know, he's always a threat. But he's had a season where it's been inundated with either injury or illness, and he hasn't quite got going yet. So I'm sure once he gets back from this illness, hopefully he'll have a decent run.
Prediction time for everybody. We've been fairly cautious and predictable with our scorelines over the last few months. So I want something a little bit different. Nicole, what are you going for?
You're pressuring me into changing my prediction. I am going to go with 5-0 Arsenal, just to please you, Dan.
See, I was going to go 5. I'm going to go 6-0 today. Hughesy?
3-1.
Oh, come on.
3-1.
Come on, follow the theme here.
3-1.
Follow the theme.
3-1.
What's wrong with you?
All right, 7-0.
How important is this run in December? We talked about how many games we've got in December, 9 all told, Stephen. And the games come thick and fast. Squad rotation is paramount. We know we've got League Cup quarter-final place in the semis, obviously up for grabs in midweek. The Europa League has only just finished as well. Then Christmas, as you know, is very, very busy. It's difficult, isn't it, for all managers?
It's difficult for all managers and all players. You know, it's a festive time, but it's the most important time to be professional as a player. You know, you've got to recover quickly, make sure you get enough rest in, because you go again a couple of days later. So it's a hugely important individually and collectively for the team with the amount of games.
Do you sense it's harder now? I know you're not that long retired, but do you think it's harder, the games are more intense in the Premier League, and therefore, because every single fan wants to just see, well, why can't you play the same 11? Why, you know, we've just won 3-0 or 4-0, why can't you play the same 11? Why do we have to make 3 or 4 changes? Is it different? Has the game moved on even 3 or 4% to mean that players are more in danger of going into the red zone over the course of the Christmas period?
I think a lot of players I played, we were in the red zone for years, to be honest with you. It's very scientific these days. I'm not sure a lot of the players I played with would have necessarily stood for being told they're in the red zone and not going to play at the weekend. I'm not sure a lot of players...
But it's been proven though, isn't it? Because players get injured and instead of being out for a week, they're out for 3 or 4 weeks, and you can aggravate that little injury that gets worse and worse. It's interesting that Isaac Hayden, obviously playing for Newcastle today, when he was in his Arsenal days, you know, he had a small injury that got worse and he couldn't make his Premier League debut. It's been well documented this week, and suddenly you can slide down the pecking order and you can miss your calling almost.
You can at a club like Arsenal. You know, there's a lot of quality in and around it, but just because December's a busy month, you've got to remember as well, nothing's won in December. You know, it's important we come out of this period as well, win as many games, get as many points as we can, stay in the competitions as well, and go into January with as many people fit in the squad. That's the most important thing.
Just minutes away from kick-off, live radio commentary of Arsenal versus Newcastle in the Premier League is coming up in just a second. Don't go away.
That sums it all up.
Will you please welcome Newcastle United and the Arsenal? Let's check out the Arsenal lineup. Here we go. Goalkeeper Petr Cech. 6, our skipper Laurent Koscielny. 7, Alexis Sanchez. 9, Alex Lacazette. 10, Jack Wilshere. 11, Mesut Ozil. 17, Alex Iwobi. 18, Nacho Monreal. 24, Hector Bellerin. 29, Granit Xhaka. 30, Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the Arsenal bench. Goalkeeper David Ospina.
Well, welcome back. We are just seconds away from kick-off here. Arsenal take on Newcastle in the Premier League, with Arsenal down to 7th in the English top flight. Obviously, we'll be hoping to propel ourselves back into the top 4, which is possible with a win, and then we will have to wait and see as to what happens with the rest of the teams in and around the top 6, 7 as it is at the moment. Leicester, of course, beaten earlier today by Crystal Palace. That was something of a surprise. They missed the opportunity to close in towards the top 4 because they were on a very good run of form. Welcome along to Emirates Stadium if you are just joining us, an Arsenal player or on the Arsenal app. We welcome you to North London on what is a very cold Saturday afternoon, our final Saturday of football before Christmas, because of course we play Friday night after the Tuesday Carabao Cup game against West Ham, both of course at the Emirates. Cold enough for you, Hughie? You've got the gloves on. He's got the gloves on today.
Yeah, I'm not messing about today. It's very cold out here. I couldn't believe when we sat on the seat, it's very cold indeed.
Let me just put that there for you, son. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
it's a lot more cold than I actually thought it was.
No, when we came, we're just seconds away from kick-off. I don't want to say that Stephen Hughes is a diva, ladies and gentlemen, but when we came up here, he went, "Oh, this seat's cold. Do you want a seat warmer or something?"
No, I was just saying it's very, very cold to see. I wasn't expecting it. He's trying to dig me out here, but it was a little bit more cold than I thought it was.
We saw Michy Batshuayi on the bench for Chelsea against West Ham last weekend. Don't even sorry. Had a hot water bottle on the bench. Imagine if someone had a hot water bottle on the bench when you were playing. He would not survive. He would not survive.
No, I think he'd get a bit of stick.
He would not survive. Get set for a start. It is Arsenal versus Newcastle. On a more serious note, Stephen, we need to win this one, don't we?
Yeah, we do. After two disappointing away performances and results, really, 2 draws. We need to get back to winning ways. Last game at home, Manchester United at home, although we played ever so well, lost the game to Manchester United, so it's vitally important we get back to winning ways today, and I'm pretty confident we will do.
Get set for a start. Arsenal with Lacazette back in the starting lineup. The only change from the draw against West Ham in midweek. The Gunners lineup with checking goal, a back four of Maitland-Niles, Monreal, Koscielny and Bellerin, Wilshere and Xhaka in midfield. Alexis left, Iwobi right, Ozil in behind Lacazette. We are underway. Newcastle to get this game underway, attacking the goal away to our left in their usual strip of black and white stripes with black shorts and black socks. As for Arsenal, traditional red and whites in this traditional month. The Gunners taking on a Newcastle side that features Elliott in goal, a back four of Manquillo, Lejeune, Lascelles and Yedlin. Hayden, once of Arsenal, of course, with Merino in midfield, Murphy and Atsu either side of Ayoze Perez in behind Joselu. They've matched Arsenal up in terms of formation, although we can see that Ayoze Perez potentially playing a little bit further forward than I thought that he might. But as we know in situations like this, Stephen, it's always up to Arsenal to break the opposition down, and we always want to see Arsenal play with tempo and pace, because that's when we've got an opportunity to do so. Get Stephen's thoughts on that in a second. This is Ayoze Perez coming forward, but Bellerin is back towards Petr Cech, who will take a touch, and now it's with long Koscielny. Koscielny looks to knock it long. He's towards Lacazette, takes it cleverly on the chest. Now it's with Jack Wilshere, cleared away by Newcastle. But we need to play on the front foot here, don't we?
Yeah, we do, especially at home. You know, Newcastle are going to sit back and say, go on in, what can you do? And it's important you start the game brightly.
Arsenal have it. And Alexis Sanchez will curl the ball over towards Alex Iwobi on the right-hand side. Iwobi inside the penalty area, it's cleared away by Lascelles, only as far as Alexis once again tries to tap it through towards Alex Iwobi. Cleared away. This is Mesut Ozil. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin short. Ozil. Bellerin once again tries to get the cross in, and does he go out of play? It does a corner. That was good, neat, quick play. Yeah,
it was. Hector Bellerin involved. Little 1-2 with Alexis Sanchez. And he just delayed his cross just for half a second there, Bellerin. He was looking for the right run. And then just got cut out, but a bright start on this right-hand side for Arsenal.
Yeah, Mesut Ozil's going to take this corner, left-footed, in-swinger, no doubt. Xhaka is inside the penalty area. Alex Lacazette inside the 6-yard box. Koscielny and Monreal up from the back as well. Let's see what Ozil can do. And it comes Lacazette with a flick on. It might fall for Monreal. Still Monreal can't get the shot away. Should be cleared away here by Newcastle, and is by Yedlin, but only as far as Jack Wilshere. Wilshere under pressure from Atsu, and the ball goes all the way back towards Ainsley Maitland-Niles here for the Gunners. Newcastle supporters, you can hear, away to our right, and here is Petr Cech with a touch for the Gunners. Now it's with Laurent Koscielny. Plenty of emails in. Alexander says we need accuracy as well as fluency. Practicing precision, aiming, passing might help to have precision in scoring attempts. Better to be on target with goals saved than off target. Wherever the goal is, it's not too late to change our fortunes. Come on, Arsenal. That's Alexander via email, studio@arsenal.co.uk. If you want to send us your thoughts here to the Matchday show. Lacazette, Iwobi. Lacazette again takes the shot on, but that's into the arms of Rob Elliott. That's what we like to see, though, Stephen.
Yeah, especially Lacazette. We spoke about him just before the show. Get the ball in and around the 18-yard box. He's going to pull the trigger. He did that there. Nice little 1-2 with Alex Iwobi. And he's 23, 24 yards out. Unfortunately for Newcastle, straight to Rob Elliott, the Newcastle goal. But nice and bright start opening, going forward from Arsenal.
Scored against Manchester United, of course, Alex Lacazette. Prior to that, against Huddersfield in the 5-0 success here. But blanks drawn in the last two, although he only had 9 minutes against West Ham, having been a surprising player to be on the bench rather than the starting lineup. But obviously squad rotation is paramount here for the Gunners. This is Alexis Sanchez, who is rarely rotated. He can't quite find a teammate, and Atsu will have it now. Ayoze Perez has been clattered into, and that's going to be a free kick here. Now then, our referee today is Stuart Atwell, and he's going to pull it back for the first foul, even though it could have been a foul for the second one as well. But I've got to be honest, I think referee's got that one right. Yeah,
definitely. He's caught him there.
Oh dear, it's a shocking challenge from Koscielny.
He's very lucky not to go in the book there. Stuart Atwell, the referee, he's taken his time to think about that, and he's fortunate there. Laurent Koscielny's flown into the challenge. And for me, he's got away with one.
Jack's been on. Jack says, why you're all over-optimistic, talking about the score lines. I forced them into that, Jack. These two didn't really want to go for something like that. I forced them into it. I'll read Jack's email out in a second. In comes the free kick then, Merino towards that far side, and it's not it down, but Petr Cech will make the save, and it's out for a corner. What I would say, I think it was a nod down that was attempted to be played to a teammate here. Was it Lascelles who was round the back, or was it an attempt on goal? Not quite so sure. It's out for a corner anyway, Steve.
I actually think he meant to head that back across goal, but it's come off the corner of his head and went near post. Petr Cech scrambled. Newcastle corner. Got to defend better.
Outswinger, right-hand side, and it comes towards Lascelles again, and it's just over the head of the centre half. And it will be picked up on this near side and then driven back in, cleared away by Koscielny. Not the worst ball to be driven back in by Lejeune.
Once again, as Koscielny hasn't started the game too brightly. He's given one pass away, he's flown into a tackle, was fortunate to get booked, and just sliced his first clearance for another Newcastle corner.
It's like Atsu's going to take this one on this near side. Lascelles is up from the back once again. He has been missed by Newcastle, missed a few games with injury, but back in the starting lineup, the captain. So left-hand side, Atsu gets ready to take this corner kick for Newcastle. Bit of early pressure here for the visitors. Let's see what Newcastle can do. Outswinging towards that near post. It's cleared away to the edge of the area. And then the shot is fired in, but way over the crossbar, nowhere near the target. That was DeAndre Yedlin that took it on, but it cleared the crossbar by quite some distance.
Well, it was fortunate, really, because Hector Bellerin didn't fly out the traps quick enough to close him down. So he had all the time, Yedlin, right on the edge of the box to take a touch and just concentrate on his technique. And it was a poor effort from him. It really was. Good first touch. A really poor second effort. Flew high and wide from Yedlin from Newcastle.
Yeah, the only goal that he scored was an own goal against Watford. Watford winning 3-0. Hasn't scored this season for Newcastle, who signed from Tottenham, of course, the United States international. Jack says that you're over-optimistic because, I'm actually serious, we lack confidence, and that's something that worries me a bit. They will defend incredibly stubbornly, all about survival. This will be 2-1, second-half goals. Giroud will net. Lacazette looks phased by the physical enormity of the elite. 2-1 win, 5 or 6. His dreamland fairy tale. Thanks for that, Jack.
That was all Dan, actually, before the game.
Well, it was me. I bullied them into it, although I couldn't bully Stephen Hughes. He'd out-bully me all day long. Here is Mesut Ozil, and now it's with Laurent Koscielny. He plays the ball to this near side and Hector Bellerin. We've had 6.5 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. We'll keep you up to date with all the other scores up and down the country as well. Crystal Palace getting the better of Leicester early today by 3-0. First goals that they scored. Extraordinary scoreline given the form that Leicester were in. Let's see what Alexis Sanchez can do here. Curls it over towards Mesut Ozil. Good ball. Ozil takes it down, then plays it to the right-hand side. Let's see what Hector Bellerin can do here. Bellerin will knock it back. Looks for Ozil. Ozil short here for Alexis. Alexis will chip it back towards Alex Iwobi. Right-hand side. Iwobi will take it down. Now it's with Mesut Ozil once again. Ozil will curl inside the area towards Wilshere. Cleared away by Lejeune. And only as far as Mesut Ozil. Ozil to the right-hand side, looking for Alex Iwobi once again. Iwobi looks to come forward, tries to knock it in field, but too many Newcastle players there. And it's tapped away here by Mikel Merino, but Arsenal will win it back. Still looks like Newcastle are sort of playing 4-4-2, doesn't it, with Perez and Joselu up front?
Yeah, but they're keeping their lines very, very compact, so there's no real distances, especially early on in the game. So the front two aren't far away from the midfield four at all, and the midfield four from the back four.
Alexis, good flick here. Lacazette with a shot, takes a deflection, cleared away. Might fall for Hector Bellerin here. Takes a deflection again, and it's out for a corner. Arsenal get unlucky. Newcastle survive.
Oh, it's Lacazette. It was a really good play from Arsenal. Ball just went to that, and on his favourite right foot, he's coming onto the ball. You know he's going to try and curl out in the far corner. Great defensive block, and it just comes up. Hector Bellerin takes his first touch with the left foot. And you're thinking to yourself, go on, just curl that in the corner. He's gone for power. And I think it's Lascelles has again got something on it with his foot. Arsenal corner.
Arsenal corner, right-hand side. Mesut Ozil gets ready to take. In-swinger, left-footed, and it comes towards Koscielny, cleared away by Lejeune. Only as far as Jack Wilshere. Wilshere powers forward, right-hand side, short for Mesut Ozil. Ozil left-footed inside the area, nodded away again by Newcastle. The ball's going to bounce out of play. That was Joselu back defending for Newcastle. So a bit of pressure building on that Magpies goal once again. Hector Bellerin will take the throw, about level with the penalty spot on the right. Bellerin throws it down for Alexis. Alexis gets it taken away from him, and it's knocked away by Manquillo. And it will be another throw into Arsenal, pretty much in the same position. About 10 to 12 yards from the corner flag, right-hand side. Bellerin throws it down towards Laurent Koscielny. Over on that left side. Maitland-Niles short for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka for Lacazette. Looks for Welbeck. Cleared away by Lascelles. And then Koscielny is brave and heads it forward. However, Newcastle are on the counter here. There's an opportunity over on the right-hand side for Newcastle to get forward. Let's see what they can conjure here. It's towards Christian Atsu. Should be cleared away by Maitland-Niles in ears. They do look dangerous on the break, Stephen.
Yeah, and what they do, they commit players forward. And this is where Arsenal could potentially hit him on the counter-attack. But the pleasing thing is when Arsenal are slow and patient, the balls get into these wide positions. Expect it here with Hector Bellerin on his right-hand side. You look up, there's lots of bodies in the box. Arsenal committing more bodies, especially in that central area, forward when we're going, you know, into Newcastle's, into the final third of the pitch, which is pleasing to see.
Alexis Sanchez has possession here. Looks to spin away from Jacob Murphy on that left-hand side. Now it's with Alex Lacazette. Alex Iwobi pushes it further left still. This is Maitland-Niles. Iwobi goes again. Can he get the cross in? Sliding challenge comes in. The ball goes out of play. And that will be a challenge from Isaac Hayden, a former Arsenal player who played League Cup games, of course, for the Gunners, was highly regarded. But unfortunately, injury curtailed really his opportunities, and he was eventually sent to Hull and then obviously to Newcastle. Petr Cech way outside of his penalty area to clear here, but gets there ahead of Joselu and just knocks it into touch.
Yeah, he decided to come nice and early then, Petr Cech. I'm not too sure he had to. Not sure he had that covered. He would just calmly knock that back to the goalkeeper. He decided to come.
Elias Kachunga has scored for Huddersfield away at Watford incidentally. Andrew Frank says, hi both, so we pick a team with 4 left-footed players but persist with a right-footed midfield rookie at left-back. Bonkers. Why are we playing Holding and Chambers, paying Holding and Chambers if we select a left-back and centre-back in a 4? Happy Christmas, Monsieur Wenger, but you are a liability, says Andrew, please. He says, retire in 2018. Not happy about team shape, team lineup, it would appear. Lars in Denmark says 3-0 to Arsenal today, from Denmark. Here is Mesut Ozil on the halfway line. Comes forward and lays it off for Alex Iwobi, right-hand side. Midway inside the Newcastle half, forward for Mesut Ozil. Now it's with Lacazette. Lacazette looks for Bellerin. Bellerin short here for Ozil. Ozil into the pass of Lacazette, looks to tee it up for Alexis Sanchez over the crossbar. Big chance for Arsenal.
Oh, it's much better play. Just raise the tempo and the pace in the attack. Mesut Ozil involved, Iwobi, Lacazette, and he just toe-poked it through to Alexis Sanchez, who's going to win that first time. And Lacazette just poked it to him. It's a difficult one. He's bobbling, and he's got to come back to take the strike on the ball. He's got to take a little yard back. Difficult to keep them down. Flew over the bar. Good chance for Arsenal, though.
Keith says, morning from Chaudeleg in Ecuador. Says, good to hear your commentary over this weekend. Keep your water bottle hot. I don't know about this game. Whenever the Gunners play a team on a low, the Reds seems to be falling to Newcastle's pattern of play. Let's hope not. If it goes our way, big win 6 or 7. I'm with you, Keith. And Jules says, highlights got you on audio only on the app as I start a long journey on a wonderful motorway system. Waving my scarf, 3-0, I reckon. Come on, you Gunners. That's Jules who's emailed in. And we restart here with Arsenal in possession and Nacho Monreal deep inside Gunners territory. Granit Xhaka with a crossfield ball, hoping to hit Hector Bellerin, but the radar is off from the Swiss there. It's easily picked up by Manquillo, who in turn looks for Merino. It's cleared away. Joselu will play it in field. Jacob Murphy, though, sees the ball robbed for him by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Really good run from Maitland-Niles. It opens up for Maitland-Niles. Oh, it's in the side netting. What a goal that would have been by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And what a confidence-boosting run from the youngster.
Oh, it's fantastic play. He read the crossfield pass and he accelerated onto the ball. Skipped away from 2 challenges and he had options, Maitland-Niles. But for me, he done the right thing. He's 20 yards out. He's got a lovely option here with Iwobi on the right-hand side. Lacazette and Mesut Ozil to his left-hand side. But decided to pull the trigger. He's only just wide. Brilliant effort from the youngster. Great to see him bursting forward with that. We know he's got great pace.
Well, that was something boys' own stuff, wasn't it, from Maitland-Niles? Obviously would have been a first ever Premier League goal, first ever senior goal for the Gunners. And he's a player with an awful lot of ability. There is no doubt about that. Just checking whether he's scored for the junior sides this season, and he hasn't. Very much part of the senior squad now, though. We've had 14 minutes here nearly, and Maitland-Niles back doing some defending, but Newcastle have possession. This is Jose Perez stepping away from one challenge and does well to play back towards Merino. Now it's with Atsu over on the left-hand side. He's up against Hector Bellerin here. Atsu gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? He can, and then it's blocked, in fact, by Bellerin. It's out for a corner, and a huge cheer from the Geordies away to our right.
Well, that's what she was talking about. Won the ball back, actually, off Maitland-Niles, who just went on that brilliant run. He gave the ball away, was out-muscled, and then Newcastle on the break. On this left-hand side here, just won a corner. Just got to be careful a little bit when you're in possession in the middle third, Arsenal, not to give the ball away.
So let's see what Newcastle can do from the resulting corner then. In it comes, right-footed to the far post. It's cleared away to the edge of the area. Yedlin is standing there once again. Manquillo will take a touch. Spanish left-back to knock it back over to the right-hand side. It's nodded back inside the area. It's glanced on towards the penalty spot by Murphy, who I think was inside the area. Or was it Lascelles who stayed forward? I think it's Lascelles who stayed forward. And now then, we've got an Arsenal player down. The referee might have to intervene here. Does he want a word with Isaac Hayden potentially for that challenge?
I definitely want to word with him, but for me it was pretty similar to the Koscielny challenge earlier, and he set a precedent with that. If he's not going to book Laurent Koscielny for his challenge earlier on, I don't think he can book Isaac Hayden for that one either.
Free kick then, Arsenal have taken it. This is Iwobi. Now it's with Granit Xhaka, left-footed to the left-hand flank. Alexis Sanchez controls first time and then sweeps it back over to the right-hand side. Hector Bellerin will nod it down to the angle of the penalty area, right-hand side. Touch for Mesut Ozil. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Curls towards Maitland-Niles. Nods inside towards Lacazette, but it bounces into the arms of Rob Elliott.
Oh, nice patient play, and he's made that run a couple of times, Maitland-Niles, and not been used, but this time when he gets it on the ball and he's on the turn, Granit Xhaka in that middle there, he can definitely find. He made a really good run, just in behind Yedlin. Tried to nod it back. Lacazette didn't quite read where he was going to go. Rob Elliott, Newcastle keeper, just mopped up.
Atsu now for Newcastle, forward towards Ayoze Perez. This is Joselu over on this left-hand side, and then looks to curl it towards Murphy. That's going to bounce towards Pericek once again. Maitland-Niles scoring a league game for Ipswich when he was on loan at the Championship side the 15-16 season. Scored in the FA Cup that year as well. Scored 4 goals for club and country when involved with the under-19s for England that year. Here is Ozil. Lacazette. That's got to be handball against Marino. Free kick here for Arsenal. What are we looking at here, Stephen? About 35 yards out.
Yeah, just on the angle. Mesut Ozil picked the ball up. Those lovely in-swingers just in that area there where the keeper can't come. And the Newcastle defenders are running back to their own goal. Don't really want to get any purchase on the ball. They're worried they're going to score own goals. Can he find that sort of area with that wonderful left foot of his?
Louis says 2-0 the scoreline for Arsenal. Alexis Lacazette on the score sheet. Mesut Ozil's going to take this free kick then. Left-footed in-swinger. Just a one-man wall. He's there to control, looks to get away from Jack Wilshere here, takes a touch and then spins, can't shake off the attentions of Wilshere, but does knock it down the line. Hector Bellerin is there ahead of Murphy, will knock it all the way back towards Pericek. Rich has been on, Rich and Riley from Bournemouth. Merry Christmas, says, lovely commentary as always, guys, hoping for a big win today. Can we have a shout out for Rich and Riley from Bournemouth? Yes, you can. Glad that you've tuned in to either Arsenal player or indeed the Arsenal app. Every single game, every single live radio commentary for the Gunners over the course of the campaign. So Carabao Cup, Europa League, the lot. Hopefully you're going to stick around for the season for us and over this very busy December period. Let's see what Alexis Sanchez can do over on the left-hand side. Looks to turn away from Murphy. Still has possession. Rolls it towards Alex Iwobi. First time for Wilshere. Iwobi goes again. Lacazette inside the box. Might come back towards Wilshere. Cleared away by Hayden to the edge of the area. Joselu and Perez look to try and combine. Now it's with Atsu. Newcastle for a second looked like they had players over. This is Manquillo on the left-hand side, shoulder to shoulder with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin shows speed and strength to get it back towards Pericek. Stephen Hughes is a little bit nervy, but Cech knocks it long. Wasn't that short, was it?
No, he's running back. He showed great pace, actually, Hector Bellerin, but then he, you know, where the view we've got, he's hit it back with his weaker left foot. Wasn't too sure he was going to make it to Pericek. He comforted up nice and comfortably in the end, but Arsenal aren't quite getting that final pass, aren't quite getting that final touch to really get that clear-cut opportunity they've been craving for so far in this game. You can sense he's not far away. They're moving the ball around well, but not quite creating those chances they want in that final third as of yet.
There's a Perez looking to chase a long punt downfield down, but Arsenal have got too many players back. Monreal feeds Cech. Cech looks for Koscielny, and now it's with Granit Xhaka. Here is Maitland-Niles. Short for Xhaka once again. Now it's with Jack Wilshere. Wilshere looking for Bellerin on the right-hand side. Bellerin short now towards Wilshere. Wilshere takes a touch for Ozil. Ozil loses out, and suddenly It is the Gunners on the back foot because Newcastle are piling forwards here, and they have got one or two options because Perez and Hostler have made forward runs, but Murphy can't quite spot any of them, and he's had to be worked back for Marino. Now it's with Maikio on this left-hand side, short for Christian Atsu. Atsu looking to kill the ball inside the box. Hostler tries to get there ahead of his marker but can't. The ball falls for Wilshere. Now it's with Iwobi and eventually Xhaka. Referee gets out of the way. Iwobi's on the move and Lacazette's in front of him. So is Alexis Sanchez. Alexis up against Yedlin. Yedlin right across to this near side. Alexis back inside the box towards Lacazette. Cleared away by Newcastle. Up into the air really by Yedlin. And Atsu takes it down ahead of Alexis. Then Alexis handballs as Marino tried to knock it forward. He's a little bit unlucky, I think, there. He was very close to the incident, Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, he was. And he's up against Yedlin, Alexis Sanchez, and that left-hand side for Arsenal. He's very, very quick as well. Can twist and turn as well, trying to stick to him, but he's making good runs off him, Alexis Sanchez. Really trying to have a bearing on this game going forward.
This is Craig in Cheltenham says, I hope it won't be another 4-4 draw today and we can come out on top. I want to see a decent performance from Alexis, which has been lacking in recent weeks. 4-0 win if we can get another early goal, stop another team from just putting everyone behind the ball. Get your ski socks on, Stephen, says Craig. He says, did we not get issued an Arsenal coat like Josh next to us and the rest of the gang? No, we're not allowed them, basically, myself and
Craig, that's
Stephen.
a very good point, actually.
But Josh can get one. Josh is in charge, you see. We'll have to sort of put in a request. Here is Lejeune. And now it's Marino. Well, that's going to be a free. This is a free kick to Newcastle here. Our producer's just telling me that there's no budget for that, and I agree with him. Anyway, let's move on. Free kick here. Newcastle have held their own, Stephen.
Well, they have, and they're going to be delighted coming in with this game plan. So the longer the game gets on, if they can get to 0-0 half-time at 0-0, they're going to be absolutely delighted with that. Rafa Benitez defensively quite solid, rode the luck a little bit, but we'll need a little bit more from Arsenal going forward. That final third, can they individually, collectively create a little bit more? That's what I think's let us down. The last two away games haven't created many opportunities we'd like and scored enough goals, and at the moment this game's panning out the same, even though it's at home.
Does seem that way, just feel that way. You're absolutely right. The ball is out of play at the moment. This is an email from Jermaine, and Dante says, gutted we're missing the game, but it seems we've started well. Glad to see Jack Wilshere starting again. 2-0 for the Arsenal, I reckon. Come on, you Gunners. And Andy in Warwickshire, says it's cold in Warwickshire, says, hi lads, are we going to get the same again from the Gunners? All the possession, no product, I hope not. What should have been Xhaka? To me, he gives away too many silly passes. Cheers, Andy in Warwickshire. I'll get Hughes' thoughts on Granit Xhaka in a sec. Let's see what Arsenal can do here with Alexis Sanchez breaking down the left-hand side, but DeAndre Yedlin slides in and knocks the ball out of play for an Arsenal throw midway inside the Newcastle half. Your take on Granit Xhaka? I thought he's had an okay season.
Yeah, I came into this season really hoping it was really going to really push on, and you know, he's in that pivotal area in that middle of the park. I think he's still adjusting to the actual speed of the Premier League. I don't think he realises he's got as much time as he does. You know, and he's played in Germany for the national team.
Here is Jack Wilshere breaking forward, short for Alex Iwobi, right-hand side. Back towards Wilshere. Xhaka can't get there. Alexis can, and it's blocked, and then the header, it's cleared. Ozil on the volley! Oh, yes! How about that for a strike from Mesut Ozil? A terrific hit. Technique, power, accuracy, the lot. Rob Elliott beaten, and Arsenal lead by a goal to 0.
Well, we said it was going to take something special, and this is something special. The technique it shows here is absolutely fantastic from Mesut Ozil. He goes up, the ball loops up, and he has to take a stride back before he connects with the ball, and he's solely focused on the connection. And the technique to hit it like the way he's done is absolutely fantastic. We've seen it on the screen in front of us here, and he just takes a step back, which is very difficult. Normally, when you strike a ball like that, it goes high and flying over the bar, but to keep that down, to keep that down and looping in, flying into the top corner of the net is absolutely sensational ability from Mesut Ozil. Really is. What a strike, 1-0.
Arsenal lead by a goal to 0. Mesut Ozil, a goal of the highest quality from a world-class performer. And Newcastle's resistance has been broken. So Arsenal lead Newcastle by a 0-0, and Newcastle have possession here with Merino. Look to play it over towards this near side, and Atsu is going to bounce away. Bayern under pressure can just shepherd it out of play, and the ball goes out for a goal kick here. Well, that's got the fans up and off their feet. There hasn't been any dissension, which I've been pleased about. No one's really getting on Arsenal's case here, but obviously as we went on to the midway point of the first half and beyond it, you'll get a little bit concerned. But I mean, that's what a world-class performer can do, Stephen, as you just described moments ago.
Well, we were just talking about how we haven't quite got that fluency we'd want in that final third, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of brilliance to unlock teams. You know, a strike across, someone beats someone. But what we just seen of Mesut was exactly that. It was absolutely sensational. The ball's looped up high into the air, and sometimes when you have too much time on the ball, you can overthink things. He's had to take a step back. He hasn't just come on to the volley, he's had to take a step back. Can't tell you how hard that is. It's not like you see in the ball when you're coming onto the ball. You can really see it and you can really just concentrate. To take a step back on anything is much more difficult, and he's made it look easy there, Mesut. He really has. The connection was fantastic, and it's flown in and give Rob Elliott in the Newcastle goal no chance whatsoever. Brilliant strike.
Lacazette, Wilshere, Iwobi tries to flick it forward for Alexis Sanchez, cleared away by DeAndre Yedlin. Well, will we see anything different from Newcastle now? In fairness, they've been ambitious when they've been able to get players forward. They have, so I don't think there'll be any sort of changing game plan. This is Hector Bellerin, now it's with Jack Wilshere. Wilshere looking here for Xhaka. Xhaka will curl it over to that left-hand side. And Alexis Sanchez, Alexis, edge of the area, still has possession now. It's with Hector Bellerin inside the box, the 1-2 with Lacazette. Bellerin will try and get the cross in, it's nodded away by Lejeune. And Bellerin will take another touch and try and work it back towards Granit Xhaka here. Xhaka on his left side will curl it to the right-hand side, where Ozil will take a touch and then he will cut in field, gets away from one challenge, finds Granit Xhaka. Maitland-Niles, now it's with Alexis Sanchez, 30 yards away from goal, chips it towards Hector Bellerin, left foot over the crossbar.
Oh, it just shows the wrong option. He's made 2 or 3 brilliant runs then, Hector Bellerin, and he picks him out, Alexis Sanchez, long floating ball over the top. And as he's seen it, he's come onto his left foot and tried to hit that with his left foot volley. But really, the much better ball was a little square, little volleyed pass across to Lacazette, who's in the middle there, who's screaming at his teammate. That's what he should have done. It's a brilliant ball from Alexis Sanchez, just hangs out for him, and his body shape's all wrong. He's come off the weaker foot, and he knows himself he should have gone to cross that to Lacazette in the middle.
Wrong option. Good opportunity to punish Newcastle further. Huddersfield lead Watford 2-0, incidentally. Moy on the score sheet there, and Johnny Farber says hello, hope everyone's well. I'd be happy with a win today. Any score will do, just to give us those much-needed 3 points. Happy Christmas to you and to everyone listening, John in Farnborough, and to you, John. And Tony from Malvern says, a real opportunity to get back in the race to top 4, stay strong at the back, goals will flow because Newcastle won't come back. If we go ahead 6-0, I'm with Sodi. Did I say I said 6? Long way to go. But Arsenal, good value for the 1-0 win. You know, the goal didn't come against Southampton until late on. The goal didn't come at all against West Ham. Whenever Arsenal score early, you know, the confidence comes back into the side sometime.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. And taking the Manchester United game out, we've been excellent at home. Even though we played well, I thought, against Manchester United, despite losing the game, I thought we've, went on a run. It was fantastic. So we should have great belief in our home form. And hopefully that will come back after that first goal there. You can see players have a little more zip in their passing here, and you just fancied, there's another good opportunity then to score the second one. Bellerin chose the wrong option. But it's important, keep moving the ball well and hopefully get another one before half-time. Got another 16, 17 minutes. Yeah, 17 minutes to go until half-time. Arsenal lead Newcastle by a 0-0. Granit Xhaka will curl the ball over towards Ainsley Maitland-Niles. It's cleared away by Lascelles. Can Newcastle do here? They've just switched wingers here. It looks like Jacob Murphy's come on the left-hand side and Christian Atsu on the right flank, just to try and mix things up. There's Newcastle come forward through Manquillo on the left. Now it's back with Lejeune and eventually Lascelles for Newcastle. Lejeune. Well, it's possession. No real penetration at the moment for Newcastle. The flick from Murphy is good towards Ayoze Perez. Now it's with Hosselu. Murphy's gone through the centre. If he can spot it, Murphy takes it on his chest. Fans cry handball. Assistants don't agree. And it's cleared by Arsenal. Well, certainly the assistant on the far side didn't. Whether the referees wave play on there, potentially.
Here is Alexis Sanchez, slide rule ball, hoping to get Mesut Ozil in, but it's well read by Lascelles. And then Newcastle lose out. Hasselu just dallies in possession. Arsenal have it with Wilshere. Right-hand side is Alex Iwobi. Iwobi for Alex Lacazette. Lacazette on the right. Now it's with Iwobi once again. Here is Hector Bellerin, and now it's with Mesut Ozil. This is Laurent Koscielny. Robin Essex says, I can't understand why Wenger is not rotating the back. I understand not wanting to change a winning defence, but we're not. Koscielny, surprisingly, Monreal, who have been behemoths at the back, look like they need a rest. Mertesacker reliable enough, holding Chambers are brilliant. Don't know why Wenger doesn't seem to be trusting the English lads as much this season as last. Yeah, I'd sort of take the point, really, certainly with Chambers and Holding not in the matchday squad today. Chambers is the centre-back on the bench. There's only Kolasinac is there as well. Get Stephen's thoughts on that one. Here is Jack Wilshere. 15 minutes to go until half-time. Wilshere short now for Maitland-Niles. Now it's with Alex Iwobi. This is Wilshere once again, edge of the penalty area. Knocks it back here for Hector Bellerin. This is Mesut Ozil. Now it's with Jack Wilshere. This is Xhaka from distance, gets the shot off just wide. Good hit, wide of the target.
It's nice patient build-up play from Arsenal. As soon as it comes through to Xhaka, you see the way he set his first touch was in front of him. You knew he was going to strike it. It's 25 yards out. He takes a touch, and he just pulled this one with his left foot. It's always going wide. It's a shame, he's got a lovely striker of the ball. He's going to be disappointed with that one.
What do you make of Holding missing out on the matchday squad? Chambers only on the bench. Would you have played Chambers and Monreal left back today? How do you see that centre back situation?
Yeah, potentially, but I think Arsene Wenger's really liking Nacho Monreal. He thinks he's grown into more of a centre-half position. When he was playing three at the back, he was always on that left-hand side and done ever so well actually in that position. He really grew into it. So I think he's one of the first names on Arsene Wenger's team sheet, but disappointing not to see some of the younger lads involved, English boys involved. Obviously, there was one myself, so they've just got to try and be patient, stay positive, and hope for their chance will come up.
This is Laurent Koscielny. Now it's with Iwobi. Bellerin curled down the flank, but out of play. Here is Lejeune for Newcastle. Lejeune forward towards Murphy. Now it's with Ayoze Perez, gets away from Jack Wilshere, gets wrong side as far as Wilshere is concerned, and Wilshere brings him down. I think he was looking for that, wasn't he, Perez, to a certain extent?
Yeah, he was, and this is exactly what Newcastle will play for. You know, when you're under pressure for long periods, anything like this, any free kicks really in the opposing half, they're going to take their time, get the big lads back up from the back, see if you're going to cause a problem at set pieces. You know, this Arsenal team isn't blessed with height.
Short free kick. Marino and Murphy. Murphy down the line, looks to curl the crossing towards the back post. Petr Cech will stretch under no real pressure. And plan B didn't quite go to plan for Newcastle there. Coming to this game off the back of 3 straight defeats and 7 defeats in their last 8. Their only point in their last 8 games away at West Brom, when they needed a late Johnny Evans own goal to secure a draw. This is Alexis Sanchez into the path of Maitland-Niles on the left-hand side. Maitland-Niles for Iwobi. Maitland-Niles again. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Lascelles steps up but can't clear effectively. Here is Hayden to try and do that. Cleared away towards Marino. Marino tries to switch play. You can see Atsu in a lot of space, but he can't deliver the ball. Ayoze Perez tries, but he hasn't got the pace, and he just drops straight to Xhaka. Xhaka for Iwobi. You can see what Newcastle were trying to do.
Yeah, you could, but Granit Xhaka, good positional play, read the danger, saw exactly what was happening. Arsenal just got to be careful of that, though, when they're committing loads of bodies forward.
Here is Mesut Ozil for Arsenal on the right-hand side. Ozil, edge of the area, looks for Lacazette, can't quite lay it off, and it's cleared away. This is Hasselu. Now it's with Murphy. Perez up front. And Murphy comes racing forward on the left-hand flank, looking to play the ball back towards Hasselu, but thankfully Maitland-Niles read the danger this time, comes across from that left-back position to central defence to intercept and help Arsenal on their way again. This is Nacho Monreal, has to dribble away from Atsu, does well, and then plays it forward for Alex Iwobi. A lot of space to work with here, Alex Iwobi. Options left and right, Lacazette to his right, Ozil and Alexis to his left, and the ball is played behind both of them, or Ozil and Alexis, that is. Here he is once again. It's towards Alex Iwobi. Tries to take it on his chest, but he waits too long. Just chose the wrong option, I think, there, Stephen.
Yeah, he did. Arsenal done really well to break forward. Nacho Monreal heavily involved. Gave the ball to...
Oh, this is Lacazette inside the penalty area. He goes down, play continues. Still going Lacazette. Tries to run through both Lejeune and Lascelles, but it's cleared away. Did he have a shout for a penalty?
I think
there?
he did have a shout, yeah. He was very honest, bounced straight back up Lacazette because he wants to get his shot away. He wasn't worried about getting down. I think he wasn't probably just outside the box. Here we see it again in front of us. I think the foul is just outside. Definitely dragged him back, but he just wanted to play on Lacazette, in fairness to him. Credit to see that. And he carried on, couldn't quite get away to get his shot away in the end.
Josh James thought it was a penalty. That'll be in the match report, maybe.
Well, it might be outside, but it's a foul.
Definitely a foul, Josh is quantifying. In comes the free kick from Mesut Ozil, cleared away. As far as Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who tries to volley it back to the edge of the penalty area, cleared this time by Lejeune. Arsenal pick it up with Xhaka. Now it's with Bellerin. Lacazette coming back from an offside position. Assistant just explaining to the French striker that he was just a little bit slow getting back.
Here we see the goal again on the screens in front of us. Oh, the technique he shows there. Normally when you see volleys like that, they fly over the bar.
It's amazing, as you say, he just takes that little step back, doesn't he, to readjust his body. And I guess a lot of the, players who take that on, they would wait for the ball, they wouldn't readjust, and they'd sky it, and it'd be over the crossbar, and that can be the difference, I guess. It's just how you set your body.
It's completely how you set your body, but it's a very difficult skill. It's very hard. When you see the ball go high up in the air like that, the first thing you want to do is adjust and then try and hit it coming onto the ball. It's so much more easier when you've got your body over the ball and you can come onto it. When you're going back, same with when you're heading the ball, if you make a step back or a couple steps back, very difficult to generate the power. But he did that brilliantly. The power he executed in that, the finish, was fantastic.
Unstoppable shot, brilliant technique. Only goal of the game so far. Arsenal coming forward, Hector Bellerin inside the Newcastle half. Right-hand side looks for Jack Wilshere. Poor ball from Bellerin, it's cleared away by Newcastle. Supporters in front of us not enamoured with Bellerin's touch there. Meanwhile, this is Merino battling with Ozil and with Alexis. So Merino's been caught there. That's a free kick.
Yeah, he's just a little bit sloppy there. He does some really good things. Right-hand side, Hector Bellerin. It's just a little sloppy passes inside that are easily read. Because he's done that a couple of times this first half. When Arsenal have been in some really good positions going forward. Same with Alex Iwobi, who just burst forward then. He had 2 or 3 options, just chose the wrong one. Tried to play it wide to Alexis Sanchez, who was made a run beyond him, had to check back out, and the pace of the attack has gone out of it. It's all about making them right decisions at the right times.
Troy Deeney's been sent off for Watford at home to Huddersfield. He's obviously lost his cojones this afternoon. Ball goes out of play. Nice one, Troy. Ball goes out of play. Not living that one down, is he? Mikel Merino certainly signed from Borussia Dortmund, was a bit part player last season, but he's like a decent player in that Newcastle central midfield. Combative, hasn't played every single game this season, got a neat touch as well. Interesting that Rafa Benitez and 1 or 2 Newcastle supporters suggesting that the team feels a bit championship light, or like. Not so much Merino, he's a good player. Here is Mesut Ozil breaking forward. Bellerin on the right. Ozil has got Lacazette as well. It's still Ozil. Lacazette. Ozil goes again inside the box. Can he finish? Good save from Elliott. And the ball ricochets up and it's cleared away and out for a corner.
Oh, once again, it's brilliant play from Ozil. It was absolutely sensational play. His first touch on the run was brilliant with the ball, and he strides forward. He's got options. Hector Bellerin's made a little run. He does a little 1-2 with Lacazette, who comes short. And of all people, his first touch just lets him down. Rob Lee managed to smother it for a corner.
Short corner in by Wilshere, cleared away by Newcastle as far as Maitland-Niles, who stabs it to the left-hand side for Alexis Sanchez. Inside the penalty area, cleared away by Yedlin. Xhaka will prod it towards the edge of the box again. Yedlin again will clear. Then Hoslu looks to try and find a teammate, but can't. The ball eventually taken down by Christian Atsu. Atsu, can he get away from Iwobi? Iwobi does really well, and then finds Maitland-Niles, who will knock it all the way back towards Petr Cech. And now with Hector Bellerin once again. It's been a good first half, this. We've got 6.5 minutes of it remaining, but played at a good tempo bar the opening few minutes. It burst into life, and Arsenal have been at it ever since, and I think deserves to be more than just a goal to the good. But I guess You've got to take your chances. You've got to be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal. That's what the boss said after the Manchester United defeat. We were all sat here thinking, yeah, played well, played well. Most supporters I spoke to on the way home saying, yeah, unlucky, unlucky. The boss was pretty honest about that defeat, wasn't he?
I think you couldn't be anything
but he could lean on it, couldn't he? He could say, yeah, we're unlucky, we should have won, we had the chances. He didn't. He said, look, you know, you want to win these games against big teams, you've got to be efficient in front of goal.
Yeah, you have to be. And there's the first booking of the game. I think it's Isaac Hayden
that's got into the book.
Yeah, just went a little bit late on Jack Wilshere. Just popping the ball off. His old teammate of his, who we see in front of us, just catches him on the back of the ankle. They can be sore ones, but I'm sure he's okay. But yeah, I think when you have that amount of chances as well, we've got to remember as well, you had a goalkeeper on the day who was just in outstanding form. You know, you don't see many performances like that over the years. But as well as that, we weren't quite as clinical as we'd want to be. That, you know, that's a fact. Can't shy away from that.
Iwobi through the legs of Lejeune, still going, and then he strikes Lascelles. Fans claiming handball, cleared away by Newcastle. Marino can only find Monreal. Wilshere stabs it back. Now it's with Monreal again towards Hector Bellerin. That's a pull touch from Hector Bellerin, and then Marino tries to knock it forward, but it ricochets up to find Hayden. Marino again, his touch is a bit poor, but he's fouled by Monreal. He's a little unlucky there. The referee's given a free kick to Newcastle. I think he was incited, the referee.
No, I think so as well. He's unlucky. But what I like about Nacho Monreal is he goes, he pressures, he actually makes contact with forward players. He doesn't just go there and then stand a yard or two off, let people turn and do what they want to do, knock it back, knock it square. He actually goes and presses and gets there, so he can actually make an impact on whoever he's going up against. Forced to play, he does well.
So, free kick here to Newcastle. Lejeune will chip it to the angle of the box over on that right-hand side. And it's cleared away by the Gunners and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Let's see what Newcastle can do here, though. They try and work it towards Atsu, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles is there again. Maitland-Niles will knock it towards Atsu. Atsu gets a leg on it and it just ricochets up and out for a goal kick here, which Petr Cech will take. The only of the goals in the English top flight at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Huddersfield 2, Kachunga and Moy on the score sheet. Deeney has been sent off. Watford, one of the more progressive teams, who are led to believe on the way down the other way at the moment. We're just looking at that handball incident again. Iwobi struck it straight at Lascelles from me, but it was a big shout from the players.
There was, but I don't think he could really done anything. I think he was a little bit too close for him for me. I know Alex Iwobi definitely appealed, but I don't think there was really anything in that.
We've restarted and we've got 3.5 minutes to go until half-time. This is Koscielny. Mesut Ozil will take a touch. And eventually, it's Granit Xhaka. Here is Mesut Ozil, scorer of the only goal so far, and it's going to be one that we'll see replayed throughout. Midnight tonight for Arsenal player. I'm sure you guys are clever enough and savvy enough to probably see it way before then. Here is Granit Xhaka. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Xhaka once again, right-hand side, looks to switch play to the left flank, tries to find Alexis Sanchez, but DeAndre Yedlin is there to knock it out of play, and he came off Alexis, and it's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. What's been brought to us, Stephen?
Got mince pie there, mate. Mince pie and a water.
You having that?
Well, it's Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Do you like mince pies?
I don't mind mince pies, mate. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of mince pies.
Yeah. Didn't like the Christmas pudding, though. It's cleared away by Lejeune, or indeed the sauce with it. Possibly looks to make a bit of progress. Atsu over on that right-hand side. And looks to try and get through to the byline here. It's a good determined run, and then Maitland-Niles manages to get a good block on it, but Newcastle do have a corner.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of pace as the Atsu. He's gone to that right-hand side, up against Maitland-Niles. Low centre of gravity, twists and turns. Drives to the byline, another Newcastle corner. Arsenal got to defend it properly.
Corner here to Newcastle on the right-hand side. And it comes out swinger. It's decent delivery. It's cleared away as Marino tried to get in. Hayden will knock it back inside the box, but it's picked up here by Bellerin, but we've got 2 players down, and immediately the trainers are on because the referee, I think, saw a clash of heads here.
Yeah, I think it's Nacho Monreal's down for Arsenal. He's just gone up for the aerial duel. Petr Cech's there as well.
Two players down at the minute, and We will see who it is in a moment. Is it Nacho Monreal down? It is Nacho Monreal, isn't it? I can't see the Newcastle player.
Yeah, it's definitely Nacho Monreal. Little clash of heads. He looks like he can be. He's okay though. Kind of the physio's attending to him now. He looks okay.
Keep those emails coming in, studio@arsenal.co.uk if you've got anything to say on today's game. Formation, players, ins and outs, rotation and so on. We've got 50 seconds until half-time. We'll get to Nicole to tell us how to get in touch. And we'll be heading pitch side as well. And I think Nigel is going to be speaking to Alex Scott, who is obviously a former Arsenal women player. And she's also very much involved in the Arsenal Foundation. I'm sure you guys know all about it, but there's a lot of copy on arsenal.com. It's our 11th consecutive year, incidentally, that the manager and the players will donate their match day wage to charity. Players will wear the Arsenal Foundation warm-up shirts. You may well have spotted that with the pictures that we were broadcasting earlier. Now, we've also got one or two other players who've been out and about collecting. And, of course, we'll be hearing from Alex Scott, who does a wonderful job for that charity at half-time. Children from the Teenage Cancer Trust, incidentally, have been invited to watch the game today in one of the executive boxes. So it's all for a good cause. If you can contribute somehow, all welcome. That's the Arsenal Foundation, who do brilliant work year on year. 2 minutes of added on time at the end of this first half. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. Mesut Ozil with one of the best goals you'll see this season anywhere. The difference between the two sides, and it is deserved, Stephen, there's no doubt about that. But while it's only one, you know, we can't count our chickens just yet.
No, and Newcastle is still in the game. But
you see what Xhaka can do here. Through towards Lacazette, cleared as far as Wilshere. Wilshere curls it towards Maitland-Niles, cleared this time by Atsu, and then prodded forward and wide of the target by Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, it's just a toe poke, wasn't it, Alexis Sanchez? So many bodies in the 18-yard box. He just felt he was under pressure, immediate touch. It was like a toe punt, it was. And it just trickled along the floor, just wide of Rob Lee's post. I think that'll be the last effort of the half.
Also going to dial it back at half-time. Charlie George talking about the 1970 Fairs Cup, bit of a feature for you while we take a break, and Stephen eats those 2 mince pies.
I've got a question for you. Would you like cold mince pies? This one's warm. Would you prefer lukewarm or warm or cold?
Warm will do for me. I like a warm mince pie. I don't mind, really. I quite like mince pies.
Yeah, I can tell.
Here is Granit Xhaka for Arsenal. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. December kills me, I tell you. Anyway, the ball out of play for
and Jan.
Oh, back at the gym, Jan. Dust off the membership. Throw in here for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. This is Monreal. Well, I just wonder if Newcastle are going to change things up a little bit in the second half. They're going to have to try something different if it stays as it is. Too often, sides don't do anything when they go a goal down and just hope to keep it tight, then sneak something late on. This is Wilshere after a really good challenge from Bellerin, wins it back. Wilshere looking for Lacazette, edge of the area, inside the box, still going forward, can't quite get the angle for the shot away. This is Alexis Sanchez. He's got space on the left for Ozil if he can spot him, and the referee blows for half-time. Well, Granit Xhaka is saying, come on, and Stuart Atwell is saying, time's up, it's time up. Who was the referee all those years ago? Was it Clive Thomas? I seem to recall when the ball was going to go into the top corner and the referee blew. and basically, he said time was up, and then literally a split second later, the ball went in the corner. I think it was Newcastle against Man City, it was years ago. But anyway, 1-0 at break there, Stephen. Great goal from Ozil. Enjoyed the first half, and Arsenal deservedly in front.
Yeah, I think deservedly in front. A sensational strike to break the deadlock, really was. But Arsenal sort of knocked on the door for the second. A couple of clear-cut opportunities, a couple of really pleasing performances in that first half. I think Maitland-Niles was on that left-hand side, left-back position's done well. Obviously, Mesut Ozil with a goal in his performance there, so it's been a couple of pleasing performances, but I think deservedly 1-0 up at half-time.
Time to hear from Nicole. She's going to tell you how to get in touch with your thoughts.
Yeah, what a goal from Mesut Ozil. And I know you guys will have a lot to say. So get your tweets in now using the hashtag AFCVNUFC, and I'll read some of them out later on in the show.
Thanks, Nicole. I've got to tell you that Stephen Hughes has just started to take all the pastry off. You've got to show the viewers that. Come on, no carb man. He's started to take all the pastry off. Are you going to eat the pastry or the middle bit?
I like the middle bit.
Ex-footballers, you see, they don't have any carbs at all. We're going to take a short break. This is Charlie George talking about the 1970 Fairs Cup against Anderlecht.
I'm Charlie George, and this is my story of the 1970 Fairs Cup final. My story about that year is quite remarkable, really. To actually win a trophy in your first season is quite frightening, really. For me, to actually get into the team was brilliant, but I was quite confident. I was quite a confident person, and I never ever thought that my ability would hold me back. So I was lucky on that part. Most youngsters that get into a team have to have some sort of stability. I had a bit of stability, and I had help from players that I played around. John Radford was a great help to me. Pat Rice always used to help me in training, and my great captain, Frank McClintock, had complete faith in me. We'd reached the semi-final. We won the early rounds quite convincingly. We got to the semi-final, and then we knew we had a game. It was against the great Ajax, Johan Cruyff's team. What a fantastic football team they had in the late 60s, early 70s. I think they must have been the favourites to win it. I think we beat them 4-1 on aggregate. I actually scored 2 goals, that's how bad they were. The away game in Anderlecht, we were losing 3-0. Donnell decided to pull me off, which was probably a good move. Ray Kennedy came on for me and scored a header, which the keeper basically should have stopped, but he didn't. So that put us in with a great chance in the return leg at Highbury. Great atmosphere. I don't think the stadium was full. The pitch was quite heavy. Eddie Kelly struck the first goal from the edge of the box.
Made a little space for himself there, Kelly, and a bit more there as well.
As the game moved on, that made it 3-2. John Radford scored with a great header, who was absolutely a fantastic centre-forward, my old neighbour, John Radford. And the actual winner come from John Samuels, who was our top scorer in the Fairs Cup run that year. I hit a 30-yard pass to him right on his foot, and he smashed it in the corner, and we actually went on and won the game 4-3.
Now it's Samuels going in hard. And a great goal by Samuels! 3-0!
Oh, the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. At the end of the game, some of the supporters were crying, you know, because it had been so long. We'd had so many great teams in the 1930s. We went into a bit of a lull in the early 60s, or, you know, the late 50s. I used to come and watch the side then. Never really did anything. I think to actually win a trophy at your own stadium is quite amazing, really. And that will be the first thing I always remember is not scoring the winning goal in the FA Cup final, but winning your first trophy at Highbury at your own stadium. It was just an amazing feeling. The crowd were non-stop. I think the majority of them were on the pitch at the end of the game. Frank McClintock, our great captain, had played in so many finals. This was the only winning one he actually played in. And he wouldn't come off the pitch at the end of the game. He wouldn't let go of the cup. I would say it definitely put us in great shape for the following season, that is for sure. And it proved it, where we went on and won the double. Definitely part of the club moving forward. I said to my friend, if we win the game, I'll give you my shirt, and he's still got my bloody shirt now. So I wished I hadn't have done that, but I should have kept it. But that was my story on the actual final.
That was Charlie George. Alex Scott just appeared on the pitch, a little ahead of schedule. She's speaking to Nigel Mitchell about the Arsenal Foundation.
Just the impact, the power of sport can have to impact change is huge. So we must applaud as well the players and the manager for donating their matchday wages today to help, you know, continue what the Arsenal Foundation do.
Yeah, that's a tradition now that's been happening since we moved to Emirates Stadium, so 11 years that's been happening. It's great to see that continuing this year as well. And you've been doing your part today as well. You've been upstairs in a Christmas grotto, haven't you, in the sensory room? So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I didn't see Santa, I left before that. But no, I think that's the great thing about Arsenal Football Club. We're so inclusive and we try to make football for all. And then the sensory room is actually a new facility that started in September, but it has the tools and games and the rooms equipped for people with profound disabilities to also enjoy a matchday experience, which is amazing.
And there's a little feature being made for Match of the Day, I understand, as well, isn't there, for that?
Yeah, so make sure you all tune in to Match of the Day tomorrow. You'll see the sensory room for yourself.
Fantastic. So bright and early tomorrow morning, set your alarms, watch Alex on the Match of the Day tomorrow in the sensory room. And you've got a busy day tomorrow as well, because it's Arsenal Football Club's charity match day today, but Arsenal Women's charity match day tomorrow as well, isn't it?
Which is great. At Arsenal, we're all one. So what happens today is also happening tomorrow, and hopefully we'll raise more funds for the foundation.
And tell us about the game tomorrow.
Oh, Joe's first game. We have a new manager, the Arsenal women's team, and I'm really excited. His philosophy, how he views football, he's so enthusiastic that, yeah, I shouldn't have retired so soon, huh?
Well, I was going to talk about that because you've announced that this is your final season in your role as Arsenal women's captain. A huge decision to make.
It is a huge decision, but sometimes you know when the time's right to pass on the responsibility to someone else. But look, everyone knows I love this club. I've been here since I was 8, and I'll always continue to be a part of this club through the foundation or doing other things. And yeah, I have 6 more months to enjoy it, and maybe we'll see all you guys at maybe a testimonial game.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And if everyone wants to come down and watch the charity match day tomorrow, it's very easy to do so, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Come along to Bournemouth. Make sure you all support us. We need as many fans as possible, and hopefully we'll bring home some more silverware.
Fantastic stuff. Well, you played Sunderland already once this season, haven't you? And that was a good result.
What did
you played Sunderland already this season, and that was a good result for you, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, but you know, in cup games, everyone knows they're one-off games and it's totally different. So we need to make sure we're on best form tomorrow, but I'm very confident that we'll get the result.
Good stuff. Well, listen, always great to see you, Alex. Thanks for joining us today on our Arsenal Foundation Charity Match Day. Best of luck tomorrow as well, as the Charity Foundation continues the Arsenal Women's game. And if you want to find out more details about how to get tickets, just head online to arsenal.com. In the meantime, Alex Scott, thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the rest of the season. Thanks for being a fantastic Arsenal captain down the years. Ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal Foundation Ambassador, Arsenal Women's captain, Alex Scott.
That's Alex Scott. I tend to think there, Stephen, that Alex might have forgotten that result against Sunderland, but she did well to recover.
She done really well to recover.
Do you ever forget results, games that you played in?
All the time. I think it's only natural you do.
Someone who never ever forgets anything is Nicole, who I think have we got some tweets from Nicole next? Oh no, we've got some Opta. We've got some Opta next. I knew it was one or the other. Stephen, we're going to put up our heat map, average position even from the first 45 minutes. We'll get something like that. And I'm not quite sure what this shows, Husey, but you would just explain to me that potentially it's Alex Iwobi, the number 17 there, that maybe he's just coming in a little bit too much. His natural position would be play more through the centre, isn't he? But he does look a little bit clustered, a little bit narrow.
Well, I think, you know, you've got Jack Wiltshire-Mezza and then Alex Iwobi all come into the same sort of areas, trying to find the same little pockets. And what that sometimes does is give the wide player Hector Bellerin to bomb on down that flanking with a bit of width, and he's not done that. Looking at this Opta state enough in that first half there. But those 3 players in the middle of the park, even though they're very clever players, very intelligent players, you've just got to try and find their own little pockets, because for me there, looking at that Opta, that map there, they're all finding them same little, they're all going into the same little pockets trying to pick the ball up.
Yeah, I mean, in lots of ways they are very similar players. They like to play in that number 10 role. Obviously Mesut Ozil is the man in possession of the shirt at the minute. Jack Wilshere has come forward a little bit. Alex Iwobi, we don't always see him out on that right hand side. He might be a little bit alien to him, but yeah, so maybe if Arsenal can find a way to better distribute their personnel in the second half, we might see a few more goals. Now, as promised, we are going to hear from Nicole, who's got some reaction via Twitter from the first 45.
Yeah, we've had tons of great tweets and lots of praise for Mesut, as you can imagine. So S. Sahad says, wow, I would want to watch that Ozil goal all over again. It was just incredible. Jordan S. Brooks says, what technique from Ozil there for that goal? And I love this one from Gunners Forum, who says, what a beauty of a goal by Ozil. Makes it look so easy. Simply Ozilicious finish. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag AFCVNUFC, and you can send your emails into dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
Many thanks to Nicole. We're back with Nicole at the end of the game for more tweets, hopefully discussing an Arsenal win. Josh James is on match report duty for Arsenal.com today. Josh, what are your thoughts on the first 45?
Pretty comfortable in a way, similar to the last few games, and with all the possession, dominating the play. I think it's 72% possession we've had, and it's about getting behind the defence and forcing those openings. And it took a moment of magic, didn't it, to break the deadlock today.
Goal of Arsenal season. I was just thinking in my head, what have I seen this campaign? Have we seen a better goal than Mesut Ozil?
Well, I think the technique takes some beating, doesn't it? It's the way he seems to have an age of time. It's these players like Dennis Bergkamp and players like that who seem to have so much time on the ball and to execute exactly their plan, and that's what made that goal stand out. He didn't flash at it. He didn't hit it too hard. He guided it in. That was his priority. So yeah, from that point of view, I think it was a goal that we needed to break them open, to break them apart, because it was getting, the longer it went on, the more frustrating, especially on the back of the West Ham game.
You've been in and around the club over the course of the week, and I remember speaking to you after the Manchester United game, and everyone was fairly buoyant. Yes, it was a defeat, but the performance was good. The fans applauded the team off, even though we got beat 3-1 at home. Has a bit of frustration seeped into the club over the last week, do you think?
Yeah, those 2 away games against Southampton and West Ham, I think the standard was below what we've been used to in the last few weeks, because, as you say, the Manchester United game, although it was a defeat, the performance for the most part was pretty good, wasn't it, after those 2 early goals? I think it was the way that we didn't continue with that verve and that enthusiasm in the attacking sense against Southampton. We really, again, didn't look great going forward, and it was a late equaliser there. And then again at West Ham, just struggling up front, aren't they, at the moment? And that, the away form hasn't been great all season. I think it was following that United game with 2 away games on the spin, not winning either of them, it meant, you know, we're back down into 7th. It's so tight up there with all the other teams winning.
How difficult is it, Stephen, you know, off the back of a defeat, when you've played well and the fans are fairly buoyant even though you've got beat, but the expectation then is for the next couple of games, or certainly the immediate game, is for the players to perform as they did against a top 6 rival, and then suddenly it dips a little bit. Why is that?
I don't know. I think even if you play well and you go home with a defeat, a little bit of doubt sometimes sets in individually. You sit there and think to yourself, I've played well, or we've played well, but we still haven't had enough to win the game. So I think when you go home at night, you sit there and you divulge it in your mind, you play it back as an individual, little doubts creep into your mind, go, hold on a minute, we've played that well and we still haven't won the game. Sometimes you can be unlucky, sometimes it quite not go your way, but we're all human, we all have these insecurities, and footballers are none more so have those insecurities. And I think watching the last 2 games, just a little bit of doubt going forward in that final third individually, I think has crept in a little bit for us. So I think it will come back. I see Arsene Wenger's talking about this week saying it will change, it will come back. And sometimes, as you said, it needs a little bit of brilliance, or a ricochet, or a toe poke ball into Lacazette to get back on the scoring chart, or Mesut Ozil to hit it in the top corner like we just seen, or Alexis Sanchez to go past someone and finish, just to reignite themselves, because you have these little dips of form individually throughout the season.
I was just going to say, maybe the motivation levels take a slight drop, because going into that United game, we're in form. If we can beat them, all of a sudden we're inching up on the top, and then they get away from us. It's that 6-point swing if we'd have won, obviously. And then you start to look at the league table, and you think, actually, you know, we're looking for the top 4 rather than looking a bit higher. And maybe that was a psychological effect, I don't know, on the players in the last 2 games.
Josh, many thanks. We will let you crack on with the match report. Many thanks to Josh James, who has given us his thoughts. Meanwhile, Husey, when we see Arsenal come out here, what can we expect in this second period? Only a goal in it. Newcastle are out nice and early. What do we think?
Well, more of the same. Be nice and patient. Keep using the ball. Move the ball a little bit more tempo, especially in this final third. Obviously, we've broken the deadlock. The longer the game will go on, Newcastle just want to stay in this game for longer and longer and longer. And with the last sort of 10-15 minutes, throw a little bit more caution to the wind to try and get back into the game. But can Arsenal put it to bed early? Can you score a second? Can you score a third? And then if we do, I'm sure Arsene Wenger will rotate and make some changes in the game.
Lars says, come on, Arsenal, more power. Lock it up when you're playing the ball. That's Lars in Denmark. Andrew Hall says, hi again, lads. What do I know about football, Andy in Warwickshire? This is Jacques Clive talking about Xhaka, saying, hi, guys. I don't think Xhaka is worth his place. He gives the ball away too much. I would prefer to see El Neni in midfield. He never lets us down. Should win 3-0 today. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to one and all. Johnny Farber says, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Ozil goal on TV. Hope there are more. I used to work with a lady who thought that Jordi Alba was a Newcastle player. That's John in Farmer. And one last one, because we're just about to get underway. This is from Rob, says, afternoon, chaps. Is Kolasinac going to be able to get back into the side above Maitland-Niles? Really like Maitland-Niles, but he's not a left-footed player. Surely Kolasinac is better suited to left-back or left-wing-back? Yeah, look, I think Kolasinac is still first choice. It's, you know, rotate. You know, it's Kolasinac's first season in English football. And we always talk about we are underway instantly, first few seconds, Wilshere on the ball on the far side. We always talk about the German league being the closest to the English league in terms of physicality, in terms of maybe the weather might get a little bit colder over there. But obviously they have this huge winter break and they only have one cup competition. So in that sense, the games that they play isn't anything like as much as we do in December and January.
But we spoke before the game about Lacazette. Sometimes it takes players a little bit longer to adjust, no matter where they come from, what league they come from. But we always compare him to forward-thinking players. You always say, oh, Thierry Henry took a little while. We're talking about Lacazette. But just because he's a defensive player or a left-back or he's playing left wing-back, it might take Kolasinac a little bit of time to adjust to the league and his new teammates and everything else as well. Just because he's a defensive-thinking player, he can still take time to adjust.
This is Alexis Sanchez. Arsenal come forward. First meaningful attack of this second half towards Jack Wilshere. Can't get anything on that. It's cleared away by Newcastle towards the Andre Yedlin, the United States international, that goes long, tries to hit Jose Perez, but it's Mesut Ozil who is there and knocks it back towards Hector Bellerin. If you're listening in on Facebook Live, or you're watching on Facebook Live, then hopefully you've enjoyed everything that we gave you at half-time. Hopefully you're enjoying the commentary at the moment, but on Facebook Live, you're going to be switched off. If you want to continue, head to the Arsenal app, download the Arsenal app, or you can go back to arsenal.com, go to the Arsenal player tab as the ball is floated in towards Lacazette, cleared away by Newcastle, and you can continue listening there. Arsenal app, arsenal.com, then head to Arsenal player. All free. All you got to do is sign up, dead easy. I'm sure if you're an Arsenal fan on Facebook, then you will have signed up anyway. This is Jack Wilshere breaking forward, but you will lose us shortly. This is Wilshere still going, edge of the Newcastle penalty area, looks for Alexis Sanchez. Alexis still has possession here, left-hand side, inside the Newcastle penalty area, no real room to manoeuvre. Now it's with Jack Wilshere, knocks it back here for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka for Maitland-Niles, Maitland-Niles short for Alexis Sanchez, up against Atsu, edge of the penalty area, still has possession here. Alexis tries to flick it back towards Maitland-Niles, ball goes out of play.
Yeah, it's better play from Jack Wilshere. Want to get him more on the ball, have more of a bearing on this game in this second half. He really was on the periphery in that first half, just played nice simple balls, didn't get involved enough for a player of his quality, but a really bright start the second half, drifted past 2 or 3 players. I want to get Jack Wilshere on the ball more, especially bursting forward from midfield.
We've had 3 minutes of this second half and it's got a little bit gloomy now. Obviously the light fades at this time of year and the floodlights are on. This is Jack Wilshere, tries to prod it for Lacazette. Lacazette looks for Alexis Sanchez inside the penalty area, still going. Can he get the finish in? Just wide of the target, had to stab it wide, and that's gone out for a corner, has it? Yes.
He got the ball in a good position. He couldn't quite get it under control. He was fighting to get it under control, under pressure. Coming back on that right foot, he's trying to pull the trigger. Alexis Sanchez, he takes a touch, takes another touch, just about crowded out. Atsu, I think it was, Arsenal corner.
So, Ozil, left-hand side, looking to get this cross in from the corner, and it comes fair delivery, cleared away by Lejeune, and it's Wilshere that will try and keep that one in play. In fact, he'll let it bounce behind for a throw in, which means that Ozil will take. There's a rarity towards Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Ozil once again tries to flick it in field for Monreal, but Newcastle have got too many players there and they win it back through Hayden. Now it's with Atsu. Atsu has to turn under pressure from Maitland-Niles. Good pressure from Ainsley Maitland-Niles. This is Marino, the Spaniard who started his career with Osasuna, and eventually to Manquillo on that left-hand side. Now Florian Lejeune. Lejeune chips it forward, looks to try and hit Joselu. He's got Jose Perez on the move. He's also got Hayden breaking forward as well. Here is Jose Perez, left-hand side. Murphy looks to come forward here. Jacob Murphy up against Hector Bellerin with an injection of pace. Can't quite get the cross in though. Bellerin is there, but in front of the Newcastle travelling fans, Newcastle have a throw-in down by the corner flag on the left-hand side. They've not given this one up, have they, Stephen?
No, they haven't. It's good defending though. Hector Bellerin one-on-one against Murphy, who's got pace as well. Tries to go on the outside of him. Stood up well.
Chelsea lead Southampton by 1-0, incidentally. Alonso, the goal scorer there. In comes the cross, but Koscielny will take it down on his chest and then will clear it towards Iwobi. Iwobi will control over the halfway line. Short now for Lacazette. Lacazette in for Wilshere. Wilshere can spray it to the left-hand side. Alexis Sanchez, good touch inside the penalty area. Still going on his right side. Can't pull the trigger. Knocks it back for Wilshere. Now it's with Iwobi. Iwobi on that right-hand side, forced outside the penalty area. Then a miscontrol allows Newcastle to clear it towards Joselu, but Koscielny is there. Just didn't quite take our opportunity there, Stephen. We were in a good position.
In an excellent position. Ball got fed nice and early to Alexis Sanchez, one-on-one against Yedlin, who is very, very quick as well. Small, combative as well, just stuck to his task. Just trying to move on to that right foot, get his shot away.
Ozil. Now it's with Wilshere. Ozil once again. Monreal, left-footed to the right-hand flank. Bailey will take it down on the instep and plays the ball infield to Xhaka. Xhaka looks for Iwobi. That's a misplaced pass. Mesut Ozil used his classic technique to penetrate Newcastle defence, bring on Kolasinac. I say he's a power machine. We'd score more goals that way. Come on, Arsenal. That email from Mark Simpson, studio@arsenal.co.uk. We'll air your thoughts over the course of this game. Incidentally, Stoke West Ham has only just started. Something to do with a power issue there. Someone was telling me at half-time. Anyway, delayed by an hour at the Bet365. Here is Jose Perez, rather DeAndre Yedlin for Newcastle right-hand side. Now it's back towards Lascelles. His clearance only falls for Maitland-Niles, and then Atsu shoves over Alexis Sanchez. That's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, once again, good pressure. Maitland-Niles saw the ball getting fed up to Atsu. Really all over him, won the ball back high up the pitch. Good defending again, Maitland-Niles.
Marino now for Newcastle, brought down by Maitland-Niles, easy one to give, and Marino wants to take it quickly, but he can't. Well, he did, but Monreal knocked it away. I don't think Rafa Benitez was enamoured with that. Players weren't in position. If you take a free kick quickly, that's it. He's got to work, basically, hasn't it? Else you look a bit foolish.
Yeah, he has to. He just didn't get underneath the ball. He thought it was an early. He spun early, but poor free kick from him.
Newcastle fans, you can hear on the right side, always terrific support. Here is Mesut Ozil coming forward towards Lacazette. Ozil once again. Now it's with Lacazette. Curled in towards Wilshere. This is Mesut Ozil. Ozil, edge of the area, tries to find Iwobi. Iwobi, edge of the box, still going. Ricochets around, makes the save. Iwobi on the follow-up. Another good save from Elliott. Brave as well, with Iwobi sliding in, and then Atsu knocks it out of play. Arsenal throw in.
Yeah, knocking on the door all of a sudden, Arsenal. Alex Iwobi there. Ricochets come back to him. Decent save from Rob Lee. Came out, couldn't get on the rebound.
And Niles with a shot wide of the target. Well, took it on from the angle of the box, and always drifting wide, unfortunately, for Maitland-Niles. Rob Elliott not having to make the save on that occasion.
Yeah, you can see why he took it on. Maitland-Niles, but a poor effort from him.
Just looking at the incident involving Iwobi and Elliott just a few moments ago. Elliott doing really well. Here comes a change for Newcastle. Christian Atsu is the player who is coming off. And we're going to see Matt Ritchie, who was signed from Bournemouth, of course, did a really good job in the Championship, 12 goals in their promotion season, but yet to strike in the Premier League this campaign. And he's started every game, bar this one, dropped for the first time. Decent crosser of the ball, probably hasn't got the pace of Atsu, Stephen, but a tidy player.
Yeah, he's got a lovely left foot as well. He give him time in the final third, can pick a cross out as well. Good striker of the ball, good at set pieces.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good qualities. We've had 8.5 minutes of this second half, and Arsenal lead Newcastle by a goal to 0. Here is Nacho Monreal. Iwobi long towards Lacazette. Great touch inside the penalty area for Lacazette. Turns inside the box, gets the shot off over the target. Did everything really well there, Alex Lacazette, bar the finish.
Oh, and he's going to be disappointed with his finish because he was really sharp. Brilliant run. Turned one way, looking for the pass. Gazelle's with him, and he just cut back onto that right foot of his. And you're just thinking, hit the target, and he's leant back. He's gone high and wide. He's going to be disappointed with his final effort, but great movement and great touch to give him the opportunity.
Colin's been on, says it's not down to psychology. He says it's down to hard work. The harder you work, the luckier you get. The ethos doesn't change whoever the players are. Going to still win 3-0. Yeah, that's a Gary Player quote, isn't it? Out for a long time ago, and it's very true. I'm with you on that one, Colin. This is Newcastle coming forward on the left-hand side, and Marino looking to break to the byline. Does well to get away from one challenge. Chips it inside the area. Xhaka is there to clear away, and then Wilshere under pressure. Arsenal give it away though. Bailey does, and then Ritchie with a shot over the crossbar. Well, bit of a chance here for Newcastle, and the visiting fans certainly felt that. Always rising, well struck, but over.
Well, Arsenal got to be careful there. Lost out in a couple of one-on-one situations. Poor from Hector Bellerin. Jack Wilshere gave back Matt Ritchie with that left foot. He's got a good left foot. Fortunately, he's just come on and got underneath that. Going to be disappointed. He's got good quality.
This is Mesut Ozil for Arsenal, deep inside Arsenal territory. Plays it over to the right-hand side where Koscielny will take a touch and then in turn find Alex Iwobi. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Koscielny once again, just 10 yards inside his own half now. Monreal strides forward over the halfway line towards Mesut Ozil, inside left channel. This is Xhaka breaking forward, tries to flick it to his right-hand side, then Iwobi, but Newcastle win it back, and they come forward through Perez, and they've got Murphy racing forward on the left-hand side. He has got a bit of pace as well. They are in his back goal side, 2 inside the penalty area. Murphy still going edge of the box. Can he pull the trigger? He can! Really good save by Petr Cech. He's out towards Ritchie on the right-hand side. 2 still waiting for the delivery. Roll back towards Hayden. He looks for the curler, takes the deflection, spins away to that near side, and Hector Bellerin should clear. Big chances for Newcastle.
Yeah, that is a big chance as well. Murphy was always cutting back onto that right foot, and he just read where he was going to try and put it. Petr Cech, good goalkeeping.
A little bit better from Newcastle, who come forward again inside the penalty area. Hosler looks to burst through, and then the ball goes out. In fact, the referee has given a free kick here to Arsenal, has he?
Yes, he has. Yeah, it was good defending.
Marino trying to get forward, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he just fouled Granit Xhaka, who took up a good position, read exactly what he was going to do, and won his team a free kick. Arsenal need to take a breather. A couple of decent opportunities there for Newcastle.
Yeah, Murphy cut inside, as you say, and I thought when Cech parried it might fall for a Newcastle player, but eventually it was turned back to this near side. But Murphy hasn't scored in the Premier League this campaign, going close on that occasion to leveling things up. David Shaw says, love listening to Charlie George at half-time. He was my host on a stadium tour some years ago. Never forget, what a player, fantastic character, great man. Waiting for our second goal, it's surely going to come. He's a top man, isn't he, Charlie? We do like him here.
Yeah, got a lot of time for Charlie. He's a character, that's for sure. Really popular guy around.
Proper Arsenal fan as well. I remember telling you a story once, he skipped out actually playing for Arsenal reserves to go and watch Arsenal play at Bristol City years ago. So instead of playing for the club, he just waited to see the first team. Brilliant. Here is Joselu, denied on this occasion by Monreal. And now it's with Koscielny. I'm sure anyone who's been on the tour with Charlie really enjoys it. He's got great stories. Hector Bellerin for Arsenal. Well, Newcastle have just upped the ante a little bit in the last 4 or 5 minutes or so. They've created a couple of opportunities, and it's got the Geordies singing, that's for certain. This is Monreal. Now it's with Koscielny. Forward towards Mesut Ozil. Ozil will knock it back to this near side. Arsenal just struggling to break Newcastle down, and no real hurry though. Of course, the Gunners lead by 1-0.
Yeah, they do.
Maitland-Niles. Sorry, Steve.
No, it's interesting just seeing two Arsenal players warm up. We've got Danny Welbeck and Olivier Giroud, so obviously going through Arsene Wenger's mind at the moment now. An offensive substitution at one point, I'm sure, is coming in the next 10 minutes or so. Can Arsenal get this second goal?
Monreal jumps, wins it fairly. Iwobi, Lacazette inside the area, chips the keeper, but it's over the crossbar.
Oh, he's chosen the wrong option there, Lacazette. Monreal very brave in the middle of the park, wins the aerial battle, and it falls to Iwobi, who just feeds it through to him, and he's on his right foot coming across the ball, Lacazette, and he just tries to chip the keeper. He tries to really dink it over Rob Lee, but for me, the angle's all wrong. He's a little bit too close to him. He's got to go for power there. Here we see the aerial challenge. Monreal against Hayden.
Yeah, Hayden not yet up on his feet yet. We're just seeing Lacazette's effort once again. Tried to chip Rob Elliott, but well, he's way over really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. The angle was a difficult angle. You know, if you can get it up and down that quickly, it looks brilliant. But for me, I think being that close on that right foot, I'd have gone for the power.
This is Jet Duncan, who says, love the commentary, always puts me right there whenever I can't go to the Emirates. Love it. 3 more goals in this, I believe. Thanks for the emails. And Mark says, greetings from Malmo. I'd like to sympathise with you, but as regards climate, but it's about the same here. And while you're at the Emirates, I've been enjoying the hell of pre-Christmas shopping in Emporia. Arsenal not at their very best today, but then you can also see why Newcastle are 17th in the league and been impressed with Maitland-Niles. Says Mark, considering he's playing out of position, don't have too much Premier League experience. We need to step it up next couple of games. So enjoying the commentary. That's Mark Beale. Mark, who's out in Malmo, of course. Good to hear from Mark. Huddersfield have got another against Watford, incidentally. Long punt forward for Perez to chase, but he's going to get nowhere near that. Petr Cech will knock it long. And Lacazette beaten in the air by the Cells. This is Xhaka. Now it's with Mesut Ozil over to the right-hand side. where Iwobi is stationed. Ozil once again, edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. Hector Bellerin to try and get it inside the box, takes the deflection out for a corner.
That's better play. There's Ozil involved again, just feeds Hector Bellerin. He's just trying to hang that up. He's by the byline, trying to hang that up. Just gets cut out near post, another Arsenal corner.
Corner, right-hand side, will be taken left-footed by Mesut Ozil. In it comes, high, hanging ball towards Koscielny. It ricochets around. This is Iwobi with the overhead. It's over the crossbar. Nice idea, execution just a little off.
Yeah, he got that wrong, didn't he? Alex Iwobi was definitely the right option there. He's taken a touch. But no, it's not really an overhead kick. He's just sort of floated over the bar. Really disappointing effort, actually, when you see it again on the screen in front of us from him.
Well, just the one goal here. Huddersfield leading Watford 3-0. Just the one goal across town at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea lead Southampton 1-0. No goals in that Stoke-West Ham late kick-off incidentally. Earlier today, Palace beat Leicester by 3 goals to 0. West Ham have got a penalty incidentally against Stoke, so they might go ahead. Here is Wilshere. And West Ham have indeed scored. Not quite sure who the goal scorer is yet. I will let you know. Mark Noble, of course, the regular West Ham penalty taker, and he has slotted home from 12 yards. West Ham lead at Stoke. Stoke are in all manner of trouble at the moment. West Ham on the up. Right-hand side sees Arsenal look to come forward with Granit Xhaka. Turns it back towards Laurent Koscielny. Danny Welbeck warming up. Olivier Giroud warming up. Francis Coquelin, is that warming up as well? Yes, it is. To check whether he was on the bench. Arsenal, Giroud, Chambers, Welbeck, Kolasinac, Coquelin and El Neni on the bench. Newcastle, Clark, Dummett, Gale, Diame, Aarons and Darlow. Darlow, the keeper, Ritchie already on, of course. And we've got 27.5 minutes remaining here. Plenty of time for Arsenal to rubber stamp what we hope will be a win and get a couple of goals to send us all into the final week ahead of Christmas happy. Alexis Sanchez controls, left-hand side, looks to turn away from Ayoze Perez, plays it infield now towards Granit Xhaka. Xhaka will chip it forward, back towards Alexis. Alexis towards Lacazette, cleared away by Lejeune. Now it's with Maitland-Niles, back towards Jack Wilshere. Central position is Xhaka. Xhaka looking for Wilshere. Wilshere, left-hand side, moves from left to right, still going. Looks to flick it through here for Mesut Ozil. Ozil diverts it back for Alexis. Alexis misses his kick. It's cleared and then punched away, or up into the air and then punched away by Rob Elliott.
Oh, he's not happy, Alexis Sanchez. I really don't blame him. Brilliant movement from Jack Wilshere and Mesut Ozil. Just find Alexis Sanchez. He took a touch, and this time he's away from Nedlin. He's really closely marked him all game. And he's got a free strike at goal, 12 yards out, and he totally missed his kick. I think he wanted a foul. He's sort of talking to the referee, Stuart Atwell, saying he got a little bit of contact just before his strike, because you really fancy him to score from that sort of range.
It's unusual. Last time that I thought Alexis Sanchez missed his kick, he didn't. It was just a step over and he scored against West Ham. But this time he wildly missed his kick. Ritchie, who controls on the right-hand side for Newcastle, and then moves infield, forward for Joselu. Ritchie, right-hand side is Yedlin, who's offside. Well, he's looking along the line. Rafa Benitez won't be happy about that. You've got to stay on side, haven't you? So Ty says, hi lads, to say today's match is must win at this stage of the season is significant. Last 3 Premier League games haven't gone to plan. This is an opportunity to put it right. Team selection shows our preferred top 3. With Lacazette coming in for Giroud. Maitland-Niles interesting at left-back, says Ty. Seeing that Ozil strikes, something to admire, but we've got to take our chances. Better start than the last 3 matches. We've created 70 chances, 30 on target, only 2 goals scored. We have to do better than that. I see he's getting the win today. We need to get a second to secure all 3, though, says Ty. Newcastle coming forward at the moment, but Bellerin just nods it down for Koscielny. Koscielny short for Monreal. Monreal to this near side, and then flicks it back infield for Laurent Koscielny. What does Arsene Wenger do here, Stephen? Does he stick or twist? I mean, if you're going to make a change, do you just bring like for like on? So if you take off a striker, you bring one on. I mean, you don't need to go any more attack-minded, do you? Let's see what Ozil can do here. Edge of the Newcastle penalty area. Side foots it for Alex Iwobi inside the area. Still Alex Iwobi looks to get the shot off. Easy save for Elliott.
Oh, he passed up the opportunity to strike 2 or 3 times, and Alex Iwobi managed eventually to get on that right foot. Straight at Rob Lee. It's Rob Elliott in the Newcastle goal. Just opens his body up there. Can't quite find the far corner. Straight at him. He's got to do better there. Alex Iwobi's going to be disappointed with that.
Long pump forward for Jose Perez. Gets there ahead of Laurent Koscielny. Can't keep the ball in play, and it's out for a throw into Arsenal. Still as you were in those games from across the country. Still Brighton 0, Burnley 0, incidentally, on the south coast as well. Bigger games coming up over the course of, well, later today certainly, as Manchester City host Tottenham. Here is Wilshere. Now it's with Lacazette. Cleared away. Newcastle possession again. They rode it all the way back towards Rob Elliott here. Louis says, in my opinion, Alexis would come off for Welbeck. Usually Welbeck wouldn't be my first choice, but he has that creative ability in this game, and I think Alexis has been really quiet today, still sticking with 2-0 to the Arsenal. This is Newcastle coming forward. Murphy tries to take it on, sliding challenge from Bayern. It's gone a little bit bitty, Stephen, in the last 5 minutes or so. We're seeing more play in that central third, aren't we?
Yeah, we have, and they're getting a bit of belief. Rafa Benitez again rolling the dice. Gale's coming on for Newcastle, so he really fancies they can get something. They're really, you know, it's a positive substitution from them.
It's a bit of a surprise that Murphy's coming off for me. He's been all right.
Yeah, he's run the channel. Yeah, has looked live. He's run the channels well. Had a couple of chances. Big got a lot of pace. But Dwight Gale's a goal scorer.
Gale is coming on. Murphy is coming off. I don't know if it's a bit of a change in terms of formation, or whether Gale is going to play over on that left-hand side. Or is he going to be through the centre? Difficult to see. Maybe more of a 4-4-2. Jack says my 2-1 isn't looking too shabby, is it? We're not quite there yet. More likely to be 2-0, admittedly. Come on, you goodness, says Jack. So he doesn't like to gloat, but, and then gives us the score. Bayern. Lacazette has pulled away. Arsenal lose out. It's all a bit scrappy again, and then Lacazette and his haste to get it back. Does he foul that Newcastle player? No, he doesn't. And Lacazette could be in here. Right-hand side, racing forward, tries to play a short ball for Ozil. Well read by Ritchie, cleared away by the Magpies, who look to come forward again through the centre with Gale, but the ball is poor and it's out of play for an Arsenal throw.
Oh, it's great one-touch play on that right-hand side, and Lacazette burst down the line, and he's looking for options. He's got Alexis Sanchez trying to get in front of Yedlin in the middle, and a little cut back to Mesut Ozil, when he just got read by Ritchie. Groans from the Arsenal fans. Weren't happy with his choice then. He's looking a bit leggy at the moment for me, Lacazette, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's the guy to be substituted for either Danny Welbeck or Olivier Giroud.
Here is Nacho Monreal. Now it's with Jack Wilshere over the halfway line. Wilshere short now for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Wilshere takes over again. Back for Xhaka. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin prods it forward for Iwobi. Iwobi looking to turn away from two Newcastle players, but between them, Newcastle win it back and come forward with Perez over on the left-hand side. He rides one challenge and another, then runs into trouble. Was he caught? The referee says no. And now Arsenal's turn to come forward. Ball goes out of play.
It was a full-blooded challenge from Koscielny, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
Caught. Perez is still down. Looks a bit sore. Does well initially, Perez for Newcastle on the left-hand side. Runs away from Iwobi, wins it back off him. Koscielny come across with the reducer, as Martin Guillaume, our roommate, we used to say. Little reducer. That was a full-blooded challenge.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's got away with a couple, I think, today, you know, Koscielny. One in the first half. This is Ainsley Maitland-Niles. We've got 20 minutes remaining. The second half isn't flying by like the first. It's been a different type of game. To Bellerin, no way forward. Hassled and harried by Jose Perez. Not forced into the mistake, though. Iwobi and Bellerin play a neat 1-2. Now it's with Ozil. Tries to lay it off for Lacazette. And that's a pull ball from Ozil. It's the first time I've said that all game. It seemed easier to get Lacazette in.
Yeah, it was. Well, the pass was right. It was the right option. Just overhit the pass to Lacazette. It was really good movement, actually. Bellerin does really well to spin away from Perez. Drives forward, little 1-2. And ball comes to Ozil. First touch, first time pass. Where he saw Lacazette had made a run. Very unlike Mesut Ozil. That's why he hit a pass like that.
Yeah. Kate from Ecuador says, the year Charlie George got the winner, I turned 18 within the London Post Office and gave Post Office 2 cup final tickets to raffle. A week in as a postman, my name came out of the hat and the seat was right on the line. Charlie's goal. What a great weekend we all had. Mate, that was sensational. Week in, you win the raffle. Spot the ball competition today in the press box. Did you ever go, Hughesy?
No, I didn't, mate.
Did you not? It was £1 to go. It doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I put one in for you. I said I'll pay for Stephen when he comes in.
It's harsh, really harsh.
Huge picture from the Legends game, talking about making it hard. It could be anyone. Could be anywhere, couldn't it? There's a picture of Marcel Dessy trying to challenge Robert Pires. We're both about 53 now. No, not 53. It certainly looks in the game. You're not missing anything because the play stopped. Because Iwobi might be coming off here. It's impossible to know where the ball was.
We're talking about a substitution. Who will it be? It looks like a double substitution now.
I think Iwobi might have picked up a knock here because he's coming across having had a bit of treatment. And Danny Welbeck's definitely coming on. Olivier Giroud's coming on as well. So Iwobi first and foremost. Danny probably going to play right-hand side of the forward three. And Olivier Giroud is also coming off. Tatania says it's good to see this encouraging performance from Arsenal coming back, switching to a back four. We just need to hold on to a crucial 3 points, something which has slipped away from us in recent games. That's Tatiana emailing in regarding today's game. Good to hear from you, Tatiana. And the other change sees Lacazette off for Giroud here, Stephen. Just on an email in from Lars saying, take Alexis off and get Giroud on, not Lacazette. Well, Lacazette's the man. He's not all right, Lacazette, but obviously not scored. And strikers are always judged with goals.
No, and he's had a couple of half chances where he's going to be really disappointed that he hasn't the target. He's a chip and he's gone for and another one there when in the first half he could have struck it a little bit cleaner for me. So didn't quite look as sharp as he normally is, Lacazette there, and that happens sometimes when you're not playing as... Yeah, hasn't played for a little while, so no real surprise to see Olivier Giroud come on for him. Pleased to see Danny Welbeck, though, who's going to play on that right-hand side.
Absolutely. Could be the type of game that might see Danny get back on the score sheet. He's got 17.5 minutes to try and make some sort of impact here, has Danny. Here is Petr Cech. That would have scored a goal back, incidentally. Decore, Jonathan Hogg sent off for Huddersfield there, 10 versus 10 at Vicarage Road. No goals, Brighton, Burnley still. He's just not got going in an old way in this second half. Newcastle maybe have been a little bit better. This is Jack Wilshere, always willing to drive forward and try and pick the pass.
You've got to remember as well, from Newcastle's point of view, they're still fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
They're on a poor run themselves. You know, they're trying to get a bit of confidence going, getting a bit of belief going as well. And they're still in this game at 1-0.
Alexis Sanchez to the right-hand side, looking for Hector Bellerin, who can keep it in play. That's good energy from Hector. Can he pick the pass? Tries to knock it back inside the area. It's cleared away. Richie takes it high on his chest, controls, runs into Wilshere. Brilliant from Wilshere to win it back. Then he goes down. Referee sees nothing wrong with that. Danny Welbeck picks up the loose ball. There's some challenges flying in here. Arsenal come out with possession. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez, central position. He's got Ainsley Maitland-Niles to the left. Here is Maitland-Niles, angle of the box. One step over, then another. Plays the ball inside the area, looks for Giroud. Now it's with Xhaka. Alexis Sanchez, left-hand side, looks to curl it towards that back post. They're queuing up. He might fall for Wilshere. Great save from Elliott. Cleared away. Back out to Xhaka. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Really good start from Rob Elliott to keep out Jack Wilshere, who looks certain to score. And that is Danny Welbeck driving forward inside the penalty area. Wins a corner.
Makes immediate impact, Olivier Giroud. Alexis Sanchez picks the ball up just like about the goal at Southampton the other day and just hangs it up to him, and he can't get... It's going behind him, so he can't get the header on goal. And he loves a lovely little nodded ball down to Jack Wilshere, who's coming onto it. Half volley with his right foot. Blocked by Rob Elliott in the Newcastle goal.
Arsenal have got a corner right-hand side, and it comes in swinger towards Koscielny with a header wide of the target.
He's going to be disappointed with that, Laurent Koscielny. I know the ball's floated in from Ozil. It's a floated corner, but he was unopposed. And it sort of skimmed off his head, really, didn't get no real connection on it.
So, Two big chances for the Gunners, both gone begging. Let's hope we're not made to rue those missed opportunities. Jim from sunny Spain says, hi from Almeria, internet was wobbly, came back on just as you screamed for the Ersnall goal. Haven't heard you laugh for many games. Not too many to call recently. Great to see memories of the Intercity Fairs Cup. My first experience of winning a trophy, wonderful night at Highbury. Still in touch with my girlfriend from that night. Don't tell the wife, oh, she's not listening. Thanks for the crumbs. I always love watching your body language as the action takes place. Yes, Mr. Hughes jumps up and down an awful lot. Certainly did when Lacazette got through. Here's Ritchie, chipped towards Hosselu, edge of the penalty area. Can he knock it on for Gale? Cleared away as far as Ritchie again. Marino runs into Alexis Sanchez. Oh, Marino's foul. A little bit unlucky, Alexis, but I can see why the ref gave it.
Yeah, he's unlucky. He's still working hard, though, Alexis Sanchez. His left-hand side. Shootout, well, the referee was right on top of that. It's probably right why he's giving a free kick to Newcastle. This is exactly what they want, though. As I said in the first half, any free kicks in the opposing half, they're going to send everyone forward. Rafa Benitez would have spoke about this. They're going to look at this as an opportunity. If the ball's right, if the delivery's right in these set pieces.
So Ritchie will make the free kick. He then sprints to this near side, then is ignored. Then it's a short ball for Marino. His first touch is poor. Tries to knock it through to a Newcastle player. Well, I'll tell you what, if that was from the training ground, it was when the coaching staff weren't looking, because that was awful. Just knocked it straight out of play.
It looked like it was definitely a training ground routine. Rafa Benitez right in front of us, spun round in anger and went and sat immediately down. Not happy with that at all. Sometimes in a week when you work at these set pieces, you work at them for long periods, you go through it, you walk through it, and then you do it at match pace. And when it comes off on a Saturday, there's no better feeling. Manager's absolutely delighted. But when it goes wrong like that, you know, he's not happy either. You spend all that time really rehearsing it, and it doesn't work. It'd be really frustrating.
Long punt towards Giroud. Lascelles wins the header. Lascelles says to Giroud, get up. He's still on the deck at the moment, and then guides a header to Ritchie. Ritchie, first time on, tries to get Gale in, but well read by Monreal. Ritchie is there, and the ball goes out of play for a Newcastle throw. We've got Giroud down at the moment. Might need a little bit of treatment here, just clutching the left side, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, those ones when you go up for the aerial battle here, I think he's got a knee in the side. Is it a little knee? You jump up, yeah, instantly in pain. They can be sore. I think it's his lower back, actually.
Difficult to see exactly what went wrong there with Giroud. It is the lower back, as you mentioned, though. He's on the deck at the moment. He's just back up on his feet, in fact, and we're going to restart. Didn't need treatment in the end, just a break in play as we watch Yedlin in front of us take this throw in. And then Lascelles with a diagonal, nodded away as far as Ritchie plays the ball over to that left-hand side. Gale with a touch, and then Jose Perez from distance. It's charged down by Wilshere. They are still trying here. There is no doubt about that. Both wide men, initial wide when Murphy and Atsu went off, and I just think that Ritchie's got to, well, he gets involved in the game a little bit more, I think, for me. Gale is a pest, isn't he? Will hassle and harry, and he's put Koscielny under pressure there. It's an Arsenal throw.
Yeah, they're kicking towards their fans as well. We're right behind them at the moment. You know, 11, 12 minutes to go. They've got nothing to lose, Newcastle. But can Arsenal create one last bit of magic, one last bit of quality, put this game to bed at 2-0?
Well, Newcastle are still in this match. I don't know which fool said. I always knew it was going to be close. It's flicked on here towards Gale inside the area. Can he turn? Tries to lay it off, and then the shot drilled in. Takes a deflection just wide of the target. Well, that was an effort from Hosselu that ricocheted up off Koscielny and out for a corner.
Oh, Dwight Gale's come on. He's made a difference already. Spins in behind, holds the ball up, waits, sets the edge of the box, and the deflections, they can go anywhere. I think it's off Granit Xhaka. Newcastle corner.
Left-hand side. In front of the Newcastle supporters, and it's driven in here. Lascelles at the back post, nods it up into the air, and then it's taken down by Jose Perez, and that's going to be a free kick because Koscielny was bundled over. Newcastle fans don't like that one.
No, they didn't, but he had his eyes on the ball, and Koscielny, just as he's going up to leap, just a tiny little nudge from Perez. Unfortunately, a little breather for Arsenal. Got to do better going into the last 10 minutes.
Jean's been on, says, hi Dan and Stephen, thank God Iwobi is off. He would never be my first choice. He's too indecisive, loses possession regularly, forgets it's a team game. Alexis, I think, does not play for Arsenal in recent games, gives the ball away too much. Such an experienced team, and yet the last 3 games have been made to look woeful. Put the ball in the net, please. Happy Christmas, says Jean, and to you, Jean. Thanks for taking the time out to email in. Newcastle on the attack, Richie inside the area, looks to knock it to the edge of the box. The shot comes in, takes another deflection, and it goes out. Only doesn't take a deflection. I thought that was a corner, but it's not been given. It's a goal kick here. Arsenal fans unhappy. It was Ayoze Perez taking the shot on there, Stephen.
Yeah, it was. The ball comes wide again. Richie and been properly involved. Outside his left foot cross, the ball just sets to him. Little half volley, very difficult skill. Poor effort from him. Perez, you have to say.
Poor.
But Arsenal have got to do a little bit better. At the moment, you say it's Newcastle in the ascendancy.
So still, Arsenal lead by 1-0. Mesut Ozil with a worldie the difference. Second half has been scrappy. We've not seen Arsenal at their fluent best. We've had chances, haven't taken them. So have Newcastle. They haven't taken them either, and they continue to come forward. DeAndre Yedlin coming forward on the right-hand side. Up against Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now it's with Matt Ritchie. Ritchie curls it forward here to the edge of the box. And then the back heel for DeAndre Yedlin. Low ball in. The flick to the edge of the 6-yard box is cleared away by Hector Bellerin for a throw into Newcastle.
Well, that's all hands to the pump at the moment defensively for Arsenal. Got to do better, got to get further up the pitch, because at the moment Richie's having an impact on this game. He's come on, he's getting the ball, he's putting the balls in the box with a bit of quality. And the ball hasn't quite fell for Newcastle in the box yet, fortunately for Arsenal. Got to get further up the pitch.
Mo Diame is coming on. So some good games against Arsenal over the years. Midfielder. And Marino, the player that's gone off. Here is DeAndre Yedlin. Now it's with Ritchie. Turner pace and looks to get the cross in deep delivery towards a far post, and the header is just wide. Was Ayoze Perez coming around the back? He was. Should have done better, should have scored.
Well, he's got inside of Hector Bellerin. He's just made a run inside him. Poor defensively from Bellerin. You can see him making the run on the inside. And Ritchie again turns to his right foot. Good delivery into the box. And you've got to say a poor header again from Perez. Wide of the target.
The 2 fans in front of us not happy at the minute, it would appear. Long punt forward by Petr Cech here. I don't want to say Arsenal are under pressure here, but Newcastle have been creating chances. Back towards Lascelles. Now it's with Lejeune. 7.5 minutes remaining here. A long diagonal from Lejeune, looking to try and hit Hosselu, who will flick it on towards Gale. Cleared away by Arsenal. This is Hector Bellerin, who will let it bounce through towards Petr Cech. Lars pointing out there was a free kick in Giroud. Got kicked in the side, saying the referee wasn't quite up to speed with that one, or words of that description. Mesut Ozil takes it down on the left-hand side. The Gunners come forward. Giroud inside the box. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Giroud has it once again. Short for Maitland-Niles. This is Giroud. Back for Alexis Sanchez. Ozil turns away from Diame. Bit of pace here injected by Mesut Ozil. Jack Wilshere now takes over. Central position, 25 yards away from goal. Wilshere still has it. Welbeck, right-hand side, screaming for it. It's come to the left, and Alexis Sanchez. And then Alexis will knock it back towards Granit Xhaka. Xhaka takes it on his chest. That's clever. And eventually does find Danny Welbeck on the right-hand side. Welbeck running at the Newcastle defence. Short ball for Xhaka. Xhaka inside the box, cleared away by DeAndre Yedlin. And then Xhaka tries to feed Bellerin, but can only give the ball towards Ayoze Perez. And then Perez steps away from one challenge attempted by Danny Welbeck. The second by Xhaka. The pair end up on the deck. It's a free kick, Newcastle.
Yeah, he didn't really need to foul him there. Granit Xhaka. They're just going to throw caution to the wind. We're coming up 5-6 minutes left, Newcastle. Every free kick, they're just going to get the big guys forward. Arsenal got a hold on here. But can they hit Newcastle now on a counter-attack?
Lejeune with a big diagonal, hoping to try and hit Hosselu, who can knock it inside the penalty area, but Gale can't get there. Cech can. Andy in Warwickshire says, hi lads, please can you spend more time looking towards the camera? If you can, that'll mean Arsenal are on the attack. This is true, because when we look this way, Arsenal attacking the goal away to our left, as they are now, though they're still deep inside their first half, in their own half. This is true. Good spot. Ozil breaking forward now, left-hand side. Further we go to the left, you know where we are. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez, still going. Alexis tries to flick it back towards Mesut Ozil, but it's Yedlin that will intercept. And Newcastle have possession again, and they play the ball over to the left-hand side, and Manquillo, and the Spanish fullback will roll it back for Lejeune. 5 minutes remaining here, the Emirates. Bit of rain around, light rain falling. This is Jack Wilshere. Wilshere short for Ozil. No one wide left at the moment. The ball is curled back towards the right-hand side, and Danny Welbeck. Welbeck inside the area now on his left foot. Does get the shot off, but it's an easy block from Diame. And then Welbeck wins the second header. It nearly bounces through towards Mesut Ozil, cleared away by Yedlin again, and then flicked on by Gueye towards Joselu. Joselu takes the touch, chips it forward towards Gale again. Koscielny is there. The referee's going to pull play back here because he saw a foul somewhere along the line on a Newcastle player. It's a Newcastle free kick.
Yeah, he was. He just got the wrong side of him. He just got tugged back. Well, he's been very lenient, you'd have to say, today with the bookings. Someone else is going in the booking. Is it Laurent Koscielny? Yep, he's going to go into the book. Just for a little tug back on Joselu. Just got the wrong side. A lot of the break was on. Dwight Gale was bursting forward. We see it on the screens in front of us. There's Monreal pulling back at him. I think he might have booked the wrong person there, Stuart.
Yeah, I'm not quite so sure what's happened there. Difficult to see. Anyway, free kick on the halfway line, just to the right, and it will be Jose Perez who gets ready to knock this one. And Rafa Benitez is just saying you're going to have to just knock it long inside the area. That's what he does. It's towards Lascelles, who will win the header inside the area, but that's comfortable for Petr Cech, thankfully. Louis says, watch this will be ticket. Arsenal will give them a goal right at the very end. Need just to defend for our lives now, get the 3 points. Long punt forward by Petr Cech, but Arsenal have it. Ainsley Maitland-Niles plays the ball in field. Keith, who's watching on TV in Ecuador, says, watching the game on TV, Arsenal defence all over the place. Newcastle should have scored. And Addy's been on, Adelina, and says, good to see manager giving Maitland-Niles the opportunity here. Seems very effective in his role, should be given more frequent chances. Defended well, by and large. He's had some surging runs at the other end as well. Newcastle coming forward, and it's an opportunity for Manquillo. And now Jose Perez over on that left-hand side. Matt Ritchie calling for it. Here is Matt Ritchie. And Ritchie looks to get the shot away. That's good defensive work from Alexis Sanchez. He's come a mile back to get the block in. And then Ozil just gets away from Ritchie. Shows real good pace, Mesut Ozil here. Glides forward and then accelerates to make progress on the left-hand side. Still, Mesut Ozil has it. Angle of the box. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez turns away from Ritchie himself and rolls it towards Danny Welbeck. Welbeck in turn for Bayern. Now it's with Giroud with a shot. Takes the deflection into the arms of Rob Elliott.
Oh, he does really well initially. Mesut Ozil on his left-hand side byline. Brilliant play. Just burst away from Ritchie. And he had loads of options. And the ball eventually comes to Danny Welbeck, who feeds Hector Bellerin on that right-hand side, who just first time pass to Olivier Giroud with his left foot, trying to get a curl, got blocked out. And Arsenal's chance has gone.
Yeah, that was a couple of times Arsenal have had the ball in really good areas, and then somehow it's just not worked out. Changing, Alexis Sanchez off, Francis Coquelin on. I mean, that is a defensive move from the boss, Stephen.
Yeah, he's definitely holding on. There's only a couple of minutes to go.
So, a late change here. Alexis coming off.
By 34, Francis Coquelin.
And Coquelin is on. So Coquelin's going to be a little bit more defensive. Who's going to play on this left-hand side, potentially? Jack Wilshere, maybe? Coquelin just getting the instructions off to Wilshere. A bit of instruction between, a bit of chatter between the players. Wilshere playing a little bit further forward. Coquelin alongside Xhaka. Joselu wins the header. The ball breaks for Wilshere. Wilshere just inside the Newcastle half. Diame tries to make the challenge. Mesut Ozil with a great ball to the right-hand side to find Hector Bellerin. Bellerin breaking forward. Welbeck inside the penalty area. Still Bellerin, it ricochets around and then into the arms of Rob Elliott.
That's a beautiful crossfield pass from Brilliant. First time from Mesut Ozil. From one side of the pitch to the other one to Hector Bellerin, who was charging, he's chasing, driving into the box, tried to get his shot away. Big deflection, comfortable save, Rob Elliott. Not long left now.
30 seconds. And Arsenal have struggled in this second half. Got to give credit to Newcastle. The game plan's been better in the second period. Introductions, the changes that they've made have certainly made a difference to their performance, if not the scoreline. Arsenal still a goal to the good. Giroud tries to flick it on, but it falls for Lascelles. Now it's with Lejeune. Lejeune chips it forward, final few seconds of the 90. Flicked on by Joselu. Now it's towards Matt Ritchie, cleared away by Maitland-Niles, and our fourth official about to tell us how many minutes have added on time at the end of this second half that we're going to get? And the answer is 4. Oohs and ahs from the Arsenal fans. Ball has not been brought back yet from the crowd down below us to the right-hand side. Now it has, and it's DeAndre Yedlin who will take this throw on the right-hand side and throws it down to Ritchie. Back now for DeAndre Yedlin. Yedlin with a low ball in towards Hostler. It ricochets around. Welbeck's there to clear. And then Giroud will nod it towards Wilshere. Wilshere jumps with Diame. Diame wins that aerial battle. And then it's popped up once again. Giroud wins the second battle. Here is Xhaka, left-footed to the left-hand side. Mesut Ozil controls with his thigh and then looks to knock it back in field here for Giroud, who looks to be struggling with an injury to the side.
I think that was the one we just got.
Yeah. Oh, Xhaka's giving it away. And suddenly Jose Perez will come forwards here. Xhaka across, brings him down. Free kick and a yellow here to Granit Xhaka.
Oh, he hit a square ball in the middle of the park. The last minute, Granit Xhaka, he can't afford to do that wrong. Perez for Newcastle picks the ball up, was striving forward, and then he brings him down. Newcastle going to get everyone forward. Poor play from Xhaka in the middle of the park. He's going to go into the book.
So free kick, 10 yards inside the Arsenal half. We are deep into added on time. Xhaka was booked for his professional foul on Jose Perez. And now Newcastle are going to try and punish the Gunners here in added on time. And up and under inside the box towards Lascelles, who jumps, and then it's nodded back in by Ritchie here. Petr Cech comes and claims. And then we'll roll it out for Mesut Ozil, whose touch is good. To the halfway line, looks for Hector Bellerin. Can he outpace Diame? Diame will get there ahead of Hector Bellerin, who finds himself in the left wing position before Diame curls it down the line for DeAndre Yedlin. Yedlin does well against Ozil initially, but Ozil wins a throw-in for Arsenal.
Yeah, he does done well there a couple of times. And Mesut Ozil, lovely first touch, great ball outside the left foot. And he went up against Yedlin. Can he win it off him? Yes, he can. Arsenal throw. See a few seconds out here.
This is Giroud, left-hand side, gets to the corner flag, wins a corner. Clever play from Giroud. Nina Ball says, in all honesty, we have by and large a mediocre team, don't deserve to be much higher than we are. More world-class players needed, stuck with most of these second-rate players for too long. Nina not happy about the current situation at the Emirates. Current situation literally today is that Arsenal will pick up this win if they can hang on here. Corner to be taken by Messrs Ozil and Wilshere, and they take it short sensibly, and then Wilshere swivels away from DeAndre Yedlin, breaks inside the penalty area. Newcastle look to win it back and do, and then it's thumped forward. Hayden looking for Ritchie, who jumps with Bellerin. Bellerin times his leap better. Ainsley Miles can't keep it in play. It's going to be another throw to Newcastle on the halfway line. No further goals elsewhere in the Premier League, incidentally. But this has been a bit frustrating in the second half. 3 points and the dust is settled. I don't think people will mind too much. Monreal to clear under pressure from Gale, but it only finds Lejeune. Lejeune controls, plays it to the left-hand side. Now it's with Manquillo. This is Lejeune wants to get in, and Diame has to knock it all the way back towards Rob Elliott, and the Newcastle supporting fans are happy with that. Long punt forward by Elliott. Flicked on towards Ritchie. Ritchie and Monreal battle. The ball is cleared by Koscielny. Mesut Ozil still full of running, looking to get on the end of it, but Lascelles is across. Can't fault Ozil's performance, I think, today. You know, even when he's not been on the ball, he's chased hard.
Nah, he showed glimpses of real quality as well.
Newcastle come forward again here. Ritchie with a header inside the area. Overhead kick doesn't come off, and Koscielny ends up on the deck because he's caught there by Hostler, I think it was, and it's going to be a free kick Arsenal. Was he caught in the face? Nasty one to take there for Long Koscielny.
Yeah, it was a brave one as well. The ball's up in the air. Let's take one for the team there. That's what the skipper does. But he's fine to run. Yeah, I think Ozil's done really well today at times. Showed real glimpse of real quality, none more so than the goal. But his overall performance as well, he's wanted the ball, he's gotten the ball, he's made things happen, he's worked ever so hard for the team as well. He showed some real glimpses of real quality.
Huddersfield have got a fourth, Aaron Moy on the score sheet. They lead 4-1 at Watford. Here, the points are safe. Newcastle have been beaten despite some resistance from the North East club over the second half. A much better display from them. Arsenal's performance maybe dipped a little, I don't know. And Ozil wonder strike, Stephen, was enough in the end.
Yeah, it was just about enough just to go over the line, you say, as the game wore on, especially in the second half. Newcastle came more into it from an attacking